Couple hours left in not only a pretty exciting Friday afternoon here, but the week. The week is over. We made it to Friday. Welcome in. It is a red day. Once again, we're dealing with some ugly numbers right across the board, although they have improved ever so slightly. 1.8 now for the NASDAQ composite, the 100, 1.5. Still seeing all kind of weakness here. The Russell 2000 specifically, 2.3% on the day. Again, big index changes to come at the end of the day. We'll take it right through to 4 o'clock until we get those imbalances. 1.57 there for the Russell 1000 to 2000. The Dow 1.1, 1.45 there for the S&P 500. I'll refresh this board so you can get a better look, but this is going to be the S&P 500. It's been red all day. We're seeing pockets still of green coming from some of the material names. A little bit more popping up over in this corner. Consumer discretionary names, some of the home builders still in positive territory today. Communication services, Netflix having a good day, 1.6%, reversing that early decline back to day highs even, I noticed right before we came on. Utilities stocks here down in the corner also, a little bit of strength coming through, but not enough, unfortunately, to offset what's happening over here. Industrials leading right now. FedEx, the main culprit. Worst day ever for FedEx shares. It was 24% at one point. It's now 21 and change. So a bit of a bounce for FedEx, but pretty ugly, to say the least. 4.4 there for Boeing. We mentioned GE as well, 4% downside. Looking a little bit red as well still in the banking sector. So ugly way to wrap up an already negative week. We were 4.6% heading into the day on the NASDAQ going into the end of the week on the week itself. So not going to improve on that. Unfortunately, hope your day is going well. We have some new toys to talk about and show you coming up this afternoon. We'll have a look at some changes that we made here during lunchtime. But before we do that, let's get into what was discussed. If you joined us in the pre-market this morning, make sure you're with us every day at 8:30. We get you ready for the open, discuss what's moving around in the pre-market, grab the watch list. Neil is here. He is going to lead the way this afternoon with a look at one of his trades.
Your trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World. As always, scan the QR code below to start your day trading journey the right way. Amazon. So obviously FedEx was a big piece of news this morning, down over 20%. Bad forecast for the entire economy. That's going to affect some retailers, of which Amazon is one of them. Look, everything was down today. There's a lot of shorts that were going to come into play here, but sometimes we talk about a floor breaking or a big gap, and I'm looking at my 60-minute chart here, and we were just at $139 in this stock. But you look at this 123.5 area, we've drawn the line for you. That's recent support, essentially since September the 1st, and we're going to open up gapping below that price. So when I see a negative catalyst and a gap below and a break of a floor, either I want that break, which you're not going to get because we've gapped through it, or I want to short in front of that level. And one of my favorite setups, as always, is the pop and fade when you are below a resistance level. And I have some dark pool wicks up here, but essentially, I've got that 123.50 line kind of mapped out for you here. We have the pop at just before actually 9:30. We're already going to the upside, and we snuck right in front of 123.5. It ends up stalling at 123, and then you're off to the races. The initial move down was super violent. I'm telling you, everything rolled over at the open. You blinked and you were already down through 122, testing 121. When I was throwing bids and just instantly out, instantly getting filled in that first candle. Second candle, you're going to get another flush to the downside. At that point, I'm thinking the 121 level is going to turn into something. If it breaks out, we can look at 120. We don't really get that break of that 121 on the initial move to the downside. We pop back up. We don't retest, so I don't re-enter anything because we don't get that 123, and then we just slide right back in. You're going to see right here, we bounced once off 121. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get out in front of 121. We'll bounce, and maybe I'll short the lower high. The second I'm out, well, I'll just take the breakdown at 121 even. I do take the breakdown trade at 121 even. It did not want to go. You can see it absolutely stalled out. I try a reload on the lower high here with the tight stop. Why? If it trends, fair enough, and I can go lower highs. But if we're going to make a wick bottom and go back to the top, what level am I shorting? Just the top. We wait to get back in front of 123. It does try to stop us out here. We get stopped when it takes out the high, but that wick top does not violate the actual level from our higher time frame. Fail breakout, jump right back into the short trade, work it right back into 22s, and from there, just playing the range. Playing that 123, even as we're trending higher in Amazon, you're still holding that resistance level. It's all about the key levels. It's all about understanding both momentum and where to get in. Patience pays, because if you chase this to the downside without tight stops on the early trade, well, you would have held all the way back and thrown away your Amazon profits. As always, tune in every single day in the morning. We go over our ideas as we did here with Amazon. tradertv.live, brought to you by Day Trade the World.
Great opportunity for Amazon today, coming off this note from FedEx. Some of the other shipping-related, retail-related, consumer-related names also incredibly weak off of this report. That was the watch list this morning, and will be the watch list on Monday. Make sure you grab that every single day for free to you, right to your inbox. Sent out 30,500 almost this morning. Make sure you grab that QR code. And join us once again Monday in the pre-market. We're not going anywhere. I'm just saying that for Monday. Let's talk FedEx to kick things off here, because it was the main story this morning. It was the main story throughout the morning and continues to be here this afternoon, because it's an economic bellwether in the sense that if not a lot of people are looking to ship products, that could be a bad sign when it comes to what is happening with the consumer, guys. We are heading into a Friday afternoon here. We're happy to have SneakerCon coming by as well. In about 40 minutes, 30 minutes or so, we'll have the guys from SneakerCon on as well. But let's talk some FedEx, shall we?
Yeah. Really excited to have those boys on from SneakerCon. Really excited to have them on. We're going to have one of the co-owners come through. It's going to be a really fun time to have those guys on. But we're here to talk a little bit of trading, and you started the show off here with FedEx, and I think that, you want to talk about a bellwether there. That's why Amazon, I know Neil just did the trade of the day, but it was the #1 name on here. We made some good money shorting that name as well, and I think it's just, you play off weakness, right? If they're going to come out and talk about, less shipments, you go from 203 all the way and start to guide, that's just not a recipe for success. But as you could see, and you can't see that much because I zoomed back in, but this 161 has been holding all afternoon. So kind of like what we did on Adobe yesterday when that made some bottoms, we took the long off the bottom. I'm wondering if you could take the short off this as well. That little break there of 161 came through. Didn't break, but went up to 160.80, and now you're back down to 20. So a little bit of a violent name, needless to say today, down 22%, but still holding up, trying to hold that 50 period. We're well above VWAP and the 200, so it's been trending upside there. These are some good bottoms too, 157.50. I don't even need to show you the daily chart. You guys sort of know what this is all about. We're well below. This is December. You're all the way down here. You have to go back, and we zoomed it back for you before, back down to pre-COVID levels that we were talking about, and if it loads up, you'll see that, and that's down here at that 150 mark. So I think there's a lot of support for FedEx down near that 150, and today it sort of proved it, right? You went all the way down there to that 154 mark. So yeah, on a daily, it's good, and FedEx still has room to ride here. Let's see. If you want to pick it up, it might be worth it down 21%. But if you did that yesterday with Adobe, right, then you're coming in today and you're seeing it down another 5. I didn't even realize that. Down another 5% today for Adobe. So I still think when you're buying high quality names, regardless of what your feeling is about the stock, you got to give it a few days to flush out, right? Because yesterday's the earnings, people maybe they don't panic. And then today it's like, let's see the follow through. We'll see what happens on Monday, Tuesday, but it's risky to do anything here with staring Fed in the face next week.
Well, that's the thing, right? We're going to get a rate hike next week, obviously, and that makes it really tricky for even a dead cat bounce if you think there's some value in something like FedEx. But look, they gave you a wick candle at the bottom, which probably set itself up for a couple of things. I didn't trade FedEx. We're looking at Amazon and a few other names that I thought would be a little bit more interesting. I wanted a 65 short that clearly never came into play, but it double topped it at 62 up here. I think that could be interesting if we got back to 62. I think that could be a pretty interesting price, as well as the afternoon 61. I'm just not sure FedEx is going to give us much. There might be that scalp trade inside here, 60 to 61, but I don't think we might not see these significant levels because the market is riding the lows and grinding lower, and FedEx is above VWAP and holding a tight range near its high. I know it's down 22%, but the chart of the day does give you a bit of an upward channel. So I kind of feel like I might be sitting this one out in FedEx. We're going to talk to some Uber here, but watch out for that AAOI. I know Brendan was trading that. That's near the high of the day. I am short it, but that's at 70. If 375 goes, I am out of Dodge on that double top in AAOI.
Yeah, unbelievably strong all day long for AAOI. All right. As we were mentioning, we had some changes around here during lunchtime as you were with Trader Prad and the boys, Ian and Sharif. I am very happy to be able to unveil the new toy. We teased it going back a couple weeks ago, but happy to show you now. This is the new desk, guys, so pretty spiffy new setup to deal with here. As far as I am concerned, you can see there's the logo on the front, obviously, and we have the ability now to, when we go to the next topic, and in this case, Uber, we'll shift over to Uber and talk about what's happening with Uber today as well. But yeah, you can see we're going to have a guest this afternoon, so the guests have a little more room, a little more elbow room. We have, the ability to have much better shots, much better angles to shoot around this desk. So this was the first part of the latest update to the studio. So there you go, the first look at the new desk that will be much improved over what we had before and will give us the ability to do so much more, shoot from different angles. Looks great, so happy with it. But let's get on to Uber, guys. They did come out here this afternoon, and I can show you the comments here, first of all. They said there's no evidence that the security incident involved access to sensitive user data, so positive. If you remember back in the pre-market, we were saying there was a cybersecurity issue that they announced after market yesterday. They weren't entirely sure the extent of which, but it looks like it was a non-event here.
So I'm going to say a big if here for Uber. If the market catches a bid, Uber is actually set up for a chance to break out this afternoon. Obviously, look, if it wasn't true and this was nothing all that bad, I think some of the price action does reflect that because you had a huge gap down, breaking a 33 level that would have been great to have traded, but sometimes you gap beneath a significant level. It was a head and shoulders type setup that you never got a chance to make the second shoulder because you gapped down. It ends up holding support at 31, and as the market's riding the lows, Uber has a triple top at about 32. Market goes to the upside and bounces from here. Uber is setting up for a breakout. It's just relative. It's down 4%, but again, like FedEx, the price action is sort of telling you that it is grinding higher. So while it's holding resistance, if we get any bounce in the market, Uber has a shot to go here. If it can break out from this 32, there's no guarantee it happens. I wouldn't be, I'm not going to be sitting here longing it. If the market breaks a low, then it could just follow the rest of the market. But if we catch a bounce, there's a few names out there that are going to set up for long opportunities. Ooh, watch out. Tesla's getting close to 301. Speaking of, 301 was the afternoon resistance on Tesla at about 12:45. So that's getting there. Uber would be on that card at 32 if it can break out. I wouldn't want the market breaking lows. I'm not taking a breakout if the market is at the low of the day, but if we're holding and bouncing off the lows, that's a different story.
Yeah, I want to say a big shout out here to the super chat. We just got Ahmed Salah. Thank you so much. I mean, he asked me here, hey, hi, Sean, happy birthday. Thank you so much. The only way to send you a gift is by super chat. So thank you for that. But don't send gifts over super chat for my birthday. And what I said is just hit the like. So it was right there. I want to say thank you, man, so much. But yeah, that'd be great. Just don't send a super chat for my birthday. But you did. So thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated. But just hit the like button, hit the share, and come back Monday. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. You saw that that sick desk, right? I mean, that's what it's all about, right? So the super chats actually don't go in either of our pockets or anything like that. We put everything back into the show. So thank you so much for all of that. And you could see that's a great, great desk there. And we're really super proud of it. So for me, to you guys, thank you so much for the continued support. And let's just keep on, you know, moving to the right way here. And I mean, the show's getting bigger and better. I mean, those of you that have watched us from day one, it used to be like with a little, you know, webcam basically. Now we got these high def, everything. It's crazy the kind of stuff that we're into right now. But thank you so much to everybody. And we're going to continue to grow this show, hopefully to the moon and beyond. That
was infinity.
Isn't that what they say?
Infinity and beyond.
Infinity
we
and
were
beyond.
just talking about Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, Buzz. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys were thinking about doing that for. We've never seen that new Buzz, so I think my kids are probably too old for it. Yours probably more.
Well, I've heard that it's.
More, did you hear it was good? I didn't hear it was that good.
I've heard some bad things.
Is
about
that Toy Story? That's like the toys.
Yeah, but I heard it is a little bit more adult. Like I don't want to say it's adult, but
is it?
My daughter's
Okay, maybe it's
5,
the other
so I don't
way
know
around.
She's not that excited to watch it, to be honest. We might end up watching Wreck-It Ralph too. Because I just finally saw the first one.
Yeah, it's good. I like Wreck-It Ralph. That's
like
pretty
that
fun there. And
movie.
technology based there. Neil and I, we used to sit at different desks and everything when we had COVID. We used to initially be like this
it
on a
was like the
different
corner
desk.
thing.
We built this. We built the same one for Pratt and Sharif there on the other side. But we were excited too because in just a matter of a half hour or so, we have SneakerCon coming through. So I'm really excited to see. Apparently, you know, Alan, you'll meet these guys. I think it's just Will going to be on, but Alan mentioned bringing the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones that they have on display there at SneakerCon here in Toronto at the exhibition place starting tomorrow and Sunday. But Brendan will cover all that when it goes. I've got a short on Google, but right now we're just talking about Adobe, or we're going to talk about Adobe, and that was a great job there on Uber. I do think that Uber can get going here in the afternoon. It's been a strong stock. We've talked about that, and then now sort of a confirmation on the data breach there not being too much. So we'll wait to see where that goes as the market's trying to rally backside here.
All right, let's, as you mentioned, go on to Adobe. Here's a look at what happened this morning. This is coming off this deal yesterday for Figma. All of the red you see on this page are analyst downgrades and price target cuts, all of which also pointed to the fact that they somewhat at least overpaid for this Figma acquisition. 20 billion cash in stock. So here is, there's the desk. Great looking desk. Here's Adobe back to day lows, guys, trying to bounce right now.
I wasn't looking for the breakdown this morning on Roblox. Then Adobe 300 was the other one, where you just had a stock sitting on a level that was too big to ignore here. And speaking of stock sitting at a level, I am long Neo off the low at 20s in front of a 1995 bottom. If it breaks 95, kaputs. I'm not saying that that's going to flush like Adobe did at 300, but I'm not going to hold through that. 300, it was just pretty simple. It was sitting right here on the bid, pre-market low, and at the open, like we said in the trade of the day, quite a few names did this, where all you had AOI just broke that 75 level, so I am now out and into the long of AOI. But we talked about that breaking that 300 level, and it was, you blinked, and that's it. It was $5. It was one and done. And you actually could have come back and started playing 98s or 99s to the short side, which might have been a thing even, up until probably about noon or something like that, actually 11 o'clock. And it was just range bound. But there were so many other things moving. I just felt that you have better liquidity elsewhere. The spreads are pretty large on Adobe. So getting shares at the open, I don't know if you could have gotten that 99, like that 300 short, like maybe liquidity wouldn't have been there. I've never really traded a breakout or a breakdown on Adobe, so I decided to go elsewhere. But sometimes it's not that difficult. It breaks a major level and the market is weak, and all you saw was an instant $5 drop. Like I said, we're not going to talk. I don't think it's on our list. Roblox, Trader Pratt was talking about it, but it was a very, very similar setup where all you had is yesterday we were talking about this when they dropped those daily active user numbers, and the bottom was 42. And we zoomed out and said, okay, it had support at 42. Well, then pre-market low, 42 at the open. It breaks 42, and it's just done. It goes to 39. We're still at 39 right now. So sometimes it is relatively simple in terms of those big levels breaking. That's what you saw with Adobe. That's what happened here with Roblox. I think there's going to be a point at which you can pick up Adobe. I don't know if you want to do anything until after the Fed.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, so yesterday this was happening here on Adobe. I don't know if we can show it. No, it doesn't have it. But yesterday we were not barcoding, but we were playing off some of those dips into 307. So you could play that again today, I feel like, on Adobe. But you got to wait for some of these levels to come through. And that would be like I mean, it's getting close. I mean, I was going to say 293. Look, I'm short Google. I'm 30 cents in the money, and my day is at the highest spot playing short. So I don't know if we want to go long here. But, you know, that is a level. And as far as going short on Adobe, I mean, you're down 5%. I just feel like there's better names with less. I mean, Adobe has a great catalyst, and that was yesterday, the disaster that was yesterday. But today, it's actually not trading so bad. There are lots of names that are down 4 or 5%. And I just think if you're going to go short, you got to play the patient game. Remember, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but, you know, at 350, there's imbalances coming out. And so, you know, because it's quad witching, and that's just single stock expiration, there's a whole bunch of different, you know, expiring options today, and they're S&P based. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of volume coming in at the close. And it's just, you know, you don't want to be caught too far offside. You know, like what if Adobe comes in a big buy and then it runs you over, right? And so for me, I think that's why you got to try to respect some of these levels and just wait for that. It's still way early, man. I mean, nothing's going to happen for the imbalances for another hour and 20 minutes. So I probably won't mention them again, but you know, when it comes close to 350, it's going to be all eyes on this stuff. So just watch out with Adobe. It's down so much. They could start buying it back into portfolios. So I could see this sort of rallying into the close. But again, like rally up to 298 is a short for me. So I just, you know, I'd rather play the longs right now than something in the middle here. So if you're going to trade Adobe, I think you got to be patient with that. Wait for 297.50, 298 to get that short. And then honestly, longs back to 292, even 293, you can test that. So I think Adobe's going to be a good trade. It's just, what will this market do? Like, look what it just did right now. I'm going to throw to Brendan in a second, but this is what's happening right now. Like, I don't know if I can, you know, make this more clear. Nothing is happening right now. So I was just like, oh my God, Google just went all the way to the downside there. And I was like, I was getting some out, and then all of a sudden it just went right back up. Like I can't, like these are all the shorts and these are all the outs. Like I'm holding out for a drop, but the market doesn't seem to want to drop. So what can you do, Brendan, except for hold on to the shares you have and wait for those great opportunities?
Yeah, it's Friday afternoon, and we are dealing with a wait-and-see kind of a market as we head towards the end of the day, as you said, imbalances and rebalances coming with index changes. Yeah, let's talk about Boeing next. We had Boeing on the watch list this morning on a note from China officials and new sanctions coming to both Raytheon, RTX, and Boeing CEOs. Here's Boeing looking actually quite similar, in fact, to the last chart we just looked at. Trying to get back to day lows, down 4.5% though. But yeah, China slapping sanctions on both RTX and Boeing execs.
Look, very quickly, I'm going to update AOI and NEO before I get into Boeing. So AOI, that 375 that I was talking about, at the short in front of it, it got to 360. It then broke this, and it's a double top because it was there in the aftermarket at 375. So grab the long here. It's working up to 380. I think $4 is going to be a nice target zone for me. There is some resistance when you get to 4 on the daily, and then from there 450. So I would want to try to hold a piece. And then I said I was in NEO as well, so I want to make sure. We try to talk about the positions we're in addition to going over this, but that's long in front of the low of the day. Scalp it to 10, scalp it to 20, and then try to see if it can hold that low. I wanted to, there's a lot of stocks that set up, or at least gave attractive setups in the event that you got some prices that I would have wanted, and Boeing just never really gave me the short. I was looking at that previous support at 147 to see if I could short in front of that. And like everything else, it just dumped right away at the open. From that point, I never really got in tune with shorting at 145, and that was the only chance you had. The pop gave you 145 even, and now it's just going sideways. So I feel like you always want to have a watch list, but you also want to have setups and names that are out there that made sense to you, and stocks that are at levels or have setups that you like, and then try to execute on those. You can't just force everything. That being said, if you forced every short this morning, it probably worked out for you. That doesn't mean you have to do it. I think 145 does make a little sense to watch tomorrow. And if we do take some lows, well, Boeing does have this 142.65 that is just sitting here bouncing off this over and over again. Like you said on Adobe it was doing this. Well, we just watched, it was at FedEx, which is barcoding off a level. It could break. You've got Boeing, which is barcoding, and it could break. And I bet you there's a million other stocks. Like NEO's barcoding at the bottom, it could break out as well. There is a lot of sideways action. So you're either playing off some key levels inside these ranges or waiting for it to break out. Sort of sitting there thinking you're going to get a huge move might be a little bit I think that's a little bit wishful thinking here. So if you go long, you're scalping this for like 50 cents, and you're out if it breaks that floor. Like, there's going to be relative strength out there. That's why I'm looking at that AAOI, because it's moving. It's up 50%. It just broke the high of the day. It's actually moving right now. Whereas a lot of these other names, they've kind of done what they're going to do unless we break this range we've been in for an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out here. I got it from a sales manager here from FIS Global. So he told me here via email that last rebalance, and I said I wouldn't talk too much about the rebalances, but last rebalance was about, remember the number I gave? I think it was like 1.5 or 1.8 billion there like that. So I just got the update right now. It's about 2 billion to sell net on the S&P 500. So there's about a 2 billion net to sell with all of their research put together here today. So let's pay attention to that when it comes out. You might get a little bit of a downside push heading into that rebalance. But remember, the rebalance doesn't hit until 4 o'clock. But the number where it shows like, hey, 1,000 shares of, well, it'll be more than 1,000, 2 million shares of Apple to buy and whatever to sell, this and that. So, as this market sort of figures itself out, we do have that number now. So it's about 2 billion there to sell. And there it is. We'll flush ourselves a little bit down the toilet. And it's not ourselves. We did really fine on this trade. But there goes Google, just back down into the upside, back down. To the upside right now goes Google. We did take out some of our shorts there, and now it's just ticking higher. Like I said, I think the best plan of action now is to wait. The market's taking off a little bit here, breaking to the upside, breaking out of the range right here. So we are actually now a little north side on the afternoon range, right? So you're coming into play there about that 12,000. I don't know, is that going to be a target level today? 12,000. Remember, we have that 2 billion to sell coming on the S&P. So let's see where it goes. But right now we flipped over to the long on Google. I don't know if we like the long, but either way, you're outside of the range right now and extending longer, not shorter. So let's see where we go now with this market as we start to take out the afternoon range.
Mark's gonna swap out my keyboard because my keyboard's not working right now, but that's okay. We'll talk about Apple a little bit to wrap things up. It's been a negative week, to say the least, for Apple. We're down again today. Is Apple a problem here, guys?
Well, I think the entire market, well, not everything's a problem, but right now everything is bouncing to the upside. I got some crazy wicks on my Apple charts, unfortunately. I want to show you, we did have 150 that just got taken back out to the upside. That was the short that everyone was looking for. It's just like 300 that we talked about on Adobe, or like 42 on Roblox. When that went, it was floodgates. It was a good re-entry on the short side. But now you're breaking up. Like, we're going to the upside right now. We've just taken out that 150 north side on Apple. And Amazon is about to take out this top as well. So I'm going to be out of Amazon. Every single time we've gotten this short, we've tried to hold on to a piece for a home run, and now it looks like we're breaking higher. So I just showed you we have the market also breaking out. Here comes... The only thing about the market breaking out here is you're still beneath, and I'm now out of Amazon, you're still well beneath that 3,900. And that 3,900 on the S&P is a huge, huge level. So unless you're breaking this, I think you've got limited upside in terms of how far we can bounce. Obviously, we're still down 1% on the day in the S&P 500, and I think that's not necessarily going to change unless you can chew through a huge level. That is going to mean for that neo trade of mine, rising tide's going to end up lifting all ships every now and then. So this just bounced up to 2020, so the long there's going to end up working. But like I said, like Amazon, that short was great. We just only finally broke out of this range at 2:30 this afternoon. So you want to look for some names that were relatively strong. One of the ones I'm looking for is that 32 break in Uber. I don't know what just happened
and
there.
By the way, that brand new desk is now completely
now it's
finished.
Broken.
I've got some good news, man. So let's just hit a home run. The boys from SneakerCon are in the building right now. So we're getting excited to have them come up here. Just met a couple of them, and it's fantastic. It's going to be great. Really excited to have them on in a couple minutes. So we're getting ready to lock and load for that. They can see our new desk here and everything. So we're really, really happy to have sort of a little bit of a collabo with these guys. So we're really excited for them. And of course, they're going to talk all about it. But tomorrow, my birthday, Saturday and Sunday at Enercare Center. We'll be all over that in a couple minutes. But yeah, you're right, Neil. This market just sort of took off to
Now
the
we're
upside
going.
there, which is pretty
Now
good,
we're
pretty
going.
good. We lost a little bit on that Google trade, but we're still above water here, so should be a great little day here. But yeah, really excited to have SneakerCon here. You know, I've got the Jordans on. We're ready to rock and roll, and it should be an exciting little interview there, Brendo. So let's just get. Are we done our rundown already? I think we're done. I think we're
done.
Are done. Back to
Yeah,
you,
we're
Brendo,
done.
or you want us to keep it over here? Okay, so we're gonna set.
they're gonna set up.
They're gonna set up and do that. So
Why can't I hear Brendan?
I don't know. We can't hear Brendan anymore. He's out of our ear. So let's just keep on going with everything. So
what he said.
yeah. They brought some shoes. This is gonna be good. They've got the kicks, so this is gonna be exciting here for SneakerCon. And of course, Prad's at the gym. You know what he tells me? He's like, "Oh, make sure you take pictures." And I'm just like, "Bro, like we're on YouTube.
Here's the
Like you could just rewind and see everything." You know?
It's true, but I think what he wanted is like, you know, some good close-ups, although I'm sure we're going to get fantastic shots of it. But I admire, like, Prad's been going to the gym. I admire his consistency and dedication to it. Even knowing we had the boys coming through from SneakerCon and that it would be exciting, he's sticking with his routine. And why not, man? I respect that. So I'm sure he'll be back, obviously. They'll be back at like 3 o'clock, him and Sharif. And hey, if you're going to go to the gym, you might as well go with Sharif, right?
Yeah, just playing around there. Yeah, of course he can do that. Okay, so let's look at something else here as the day goes. So we're trying to find some relative strength versus weakness right now. Neil did the trade of the day there on Amazon. I really like Amazon up at this 123 level. We just took it out again. I mean, 123, top. So, you know, if you're going to respect anything, it probably is this 123. We just wicked out to 123.30. But the problem is, you guys know how I trade. I don't want to be short right now if we are this sort of extended past the 50 period, right? Like, I mean, if it comes back in, maybe that's where we can load up some longs. But I'd like to have been short up here. Maybe we can float up a little bit more and test that. But like, why did we break there? So I'm not really sure. I'm kind of thinking I still want to be net short into the close, but I just got to find the right equity to be that, right? I got to find the right name to take that short in. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see everything more clearly. I'm going to take a 123 short off Amazon and give it to that 123.40 high. So I think we can get 40 cents on this trade. So let's at least start it now. And if we have to average in, we can do that up to about 123.20 or so. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here with hopefully a big trade for you coming up on Amazon.
I want to show, give me my Binance chart here working, because I want to show you guys Square. The market just bounced to the upside. Well, come on, go full screen, please. The market just bounced to the upside. There's Bitcoin still beneath that 20,000 mark. And when we just had that bounce, retracing towards at least close to some of those morning highs, Square got back to its previous low. That's a 65 quarter. You've been holding all morning, or all day long, I should say, before breaking down. Now it's rejected this 65.25. This is a short here. This is a stock that other names are getting above VWAP. They're breaking back toward their highs. You know, they're breaking resistance. And this couldn't even get back to the previous low. I think that can be our sort of line in the sand, that 65 quarter to 65 and a half area. Just pick on something that's relatively weak. AOI is going to likely not care about the market. So if it maintains the breakout, I have half out. I'm looking for $4 in the rest. And Neil's still above that 20. But Square, man, that looks weak. This is going to be an opportunity to get into something where you're.
Well, this is Justin. He works on our Instagram and everything like that, along with Liz.
How many names are going to do this and still be hanging out at those lows? So I'm going to get on the offer here on block, see if I can pick something up. I was mentioning Tesla. I might have missed it. I'm in Neil, so it's not that bad. But Tesla did end up breaking that 301. So, you know, if you just put a stop long 301, it did give you a 301 to 302. Might have missed the opportunity to grab that quick trade in Tesla. Now at those highs, you're very close to yesterday's close on Tesla. So you might run into resistance at 303 to 304 on Tesla. So I'd much rather be going to play in Square, work on something else other than Tesla here. But Square looks so weak. I got to get involved in that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the exact same thing here. Looking to talk about a breakout possibility here on Amazon. So we just averaged in right now to that trade. Remember I said that, you know, we were looking at this trade, looking at it from the high side of things right now. So I'm done with it. We'll wait to see where it goes from here. But for right now, we're short on Amazon against that you can't see it here, but it's against that last wick. So we just wicked up to what, 35? So we'll give it around to 35. And then if we have to get out on that print, we'll get out. But this has been a good short all day for us. So, you know, I want to be able to hold this a little bit more. We'll take one more average in, but it's going to be right around here. Like my out's going to be in the 40s, so maybe we'll take a 30 short just to give us another average price. So right now, if you pretend like I'm going to take a quarter more of what I have at this 30 level right there, right? And if we wick higher, we'll give it a few more pennies back up to the upside at that point. But yeah, so far so good here for Amazon. Let's just continue that short. I mean, it's respected it all day. For right now, we're starting to, there it goes. I mean, we'll be out of this soon probably. There goes the futures trying to get back up, like really surprising. I didn't think that the market would rally into the close. So when that happens, you know, if you're here to make money, you're going to have to take a little bit of risk. So I'll give a little bit of my day back here if it does go back up, but I'm not giving this one much room, man. It's 20 cents worth of room. So 123.40 or so is going to be the out. I'm short at 20. So if we can just retrace right back down to 123 where this move started, then we've got the 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which I like. So here we go, right back to flat on the trade. Let's see if we can work with Amazon here into the close.
It's all about the R&R, risk to reward. That's
or rest and relaxation. I think
I got
to get some of that.
It is that too as well, and you got to do that on your birthday. Well, you want to have fun.
Sir.
You want to have fun as well. I mean, either or. Do a bit of both because it's the weekend. But Nvidia, someone just asked about Nvidia. Double top right now, 131s. Is the market's going to turn and look at the resistance, 32s and 33s. 33 2 days ago, 32 yesterday, 31 today. Right now you have a top at 131.20. Yeah, if we don't break this high, that does give you a bit of a curl opportunity. And we just said risk to reward. The thing about this trade is, like, if it comes to view up, that's $2. If it goes halfway, that's $1. If it breaks the high, that's 20 cents. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. It could take out this top, but the market's just rejected the high of the day. And if we don't get through the top, well, decent chance that a level like this is going to get rejected. So I'm going to jump in on Nvidia. It just, oh, there it is. Just got in there at some 10s and just touched 10s. I just got some 5s. 131.20 will be the out. So it's about 20 cents worth of risk when you got to factor in slippage as well. So we'll see what happens here if the market takes out the top. I do have a Neo long, so that gives me some cover. I do still want to find something else, maybe a Netflix. I'll try. That's been pretty strong all day long. That is going to be worth a look, I think, Netflix. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go right over to this one now. So it's not going to age well, but I had 2 longs in Netflix, and the second one sucks.
I mean, you were pissed off about that. I remember when we sat back down and you're like, I mean, not pissed off, but disappointed because it was like, oh my God, I can't believe where Netflix went to today.
Look where I was long, this stupid
when
thing.
You said, can you believe where Netflix is? I thought it was 230, 235, and you're like, oh my God, it's at literally 240. I was like, huh? On that one, but okay, Amazon, I see you. Come to the party right now, coming back in. We just take a 10. We did take a 15 because I can't stop taking profit sometimes when this comes back in. But here comes Amazon pulling right back in. Yeah, buddy, what a great time to throw to our guests. As you know, we're working this short here. It's so far so good. But the problem is I'm so interested in this. So I got to trade, watch this, what's going to happen right now. And without any further ado, let's throw it over to the big desk. It's time to talk some sneakers. Let's go.
Yeah, we're super excited to have the guys from SneakerCon here. Will DeBoard is managing director of SneakerCon, happening for the first time since 2019. We were just discussing, Will, in Toronto. It's been 3 full years, if you can believe that, since the guys have been in the city at the Enercare Center this weekend. If you're in Toronto, we'll give you more details here in a second if you want to head down to the show and how to get more information on it. But welcome, first of all.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys here. You've brought, let's get right to it, because you've brought some insane sneakers with you. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so these are the Nike Air Force One by Louis Vuitton, specifically the designer Virgil Abloh, who recently passed away.
Unreal.
These shoes were not even sold by Nike themselves. It was only made available to the highest tier of Louis Vuitton customer.
Wow.
Spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on handbags and things like that.
Unreal.
They retailed for about $2,500, and now they go for upwards of 20 grand.
That's insane. Is it a limited edition type of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, these are probably the top 2 most limited ones out of they dropped a set, different colors.
Wow.
So this is one of the most rare ones.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you, first of all, for coming by today and
Absolutely.
Bringing those with you. Let's talk about the sneaker world in general, because it's absolutely exploded and continues to explode over the past couple of years. What do you think has been the main driver behind this interest, first of all, and where does that come from? And where do you see it going maybe down the road, 3 to 5 years?
You know, it all stems from just collectible culture, right? Like trading cards, comic books, and then sneakers. And sneakers are just a much more practical product. You can wear it. It's fashionable. You know, most people's comic books and trading cards are sitting in some basement or attic. So the sneakers are wearable, and that means that they get worn and there's no longer new ones on the market available, which makes the price go up, right?
Yeah.
Scarcity. And the sports, the stories behind it, that all drives the price, but ultimately the limited edition aspect and how hard they are to attain.
When it comes to sneaker culture in general, if someone's maybe new to this idea, new to this realm, where would you send them? Where would you tell them to maybe get more information and get a better understanding of where this comes from?
I mean, I would say go dive in the deep web of blogs and archives of posts from releases from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and really try to see how this all built up. I mean, a shoe like this might have retailed 20 years ago for $200 and might have been going for $2,000. Now you're talking prices of $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 for certain shoes. And that's, you know, obviously with inflation and everything going on and just this becoming a much more higher value asset for people.
It's impressive, obviously, right across the board. There's a very clear tie between the overall market when it comes to sneakers and the stock market. I want to get to that in a second, but let's talk about SneakerCon in general here. Give us a bit of a brief history, how you guys got started, how it snowballed so quickly, and where we're at today, because there are a ton of shows you guys are doing all over the world.
Yeah. So it started in 2009 in New York City. The founders were resellers and media bloggers, came together and said, hey, we need a space to meet, because unlike here, you guys are talking day trading on the stock market. Everything is electronic and digital. You can day trade. With sneakers, you can't day trade. The only place to day trade is at a SneakerCon event, where you can buy a shoe and literally sell it in 10 minutes to someone else. You can't do that digitally because there's logistics, right? You got to ship the shoes, get them authenticated, and it's a 2-week process just to buy one pair of shoes. So you just can't do that. With SneakerCon events, that was the model. It was viewing the stock market in the 70s, 80s, the trading pit, right? So we wanted to recreate that, and we started with 20 vendors in New York City, hallway of a comedy club, and it just snowballed into us hitting other cities and really bringing that hustle mentality, that culture of reselling with us, and introducing new communities to that, and really building a global culture of reselling and trading shoes.
And when we talk about the global culture, we're talking right now to people all over the world. So give us an idea of some of the places specifically and some of the cities you guys are planning on hitting.
Yeah, so I mean, this year alone, we're back in Canada. We're ending the year in London. We've done London many times, Germany and Europe as well. We've done events in China, Guangzhou, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Japan and Osaka in 2019, Australia, you know, we were hitting for 2-3 years before COVID. So we're looking to get back. And next year we're also launching in South America, in Central America with Mexico.
When it comes to the actual product now, let's jump into what can people expect when they come to these shows. First of all, what are people who are dealing in sneakers, what are they looking for? What makes something attractive to a buyer when it comes to sneakers?
I mean, of course, it's liquidity, right? You want to be able to buy something and sell it quickly and get your profit, your return on your investment, so you can keep investing those funds. So you're looking at the hottest sellers, right? Right now, the Jordan 1s, the Nike Dunks, the Yeezys, right? Those are the hottest sellers, so people are trading those very rapidly and very quickly and in high volumes. And then you have this type of product, which is like super niche. Not everybody can spend 20 grand on a pair of shoes, but you have collectors that just focus on this type of product. So there's different tiers and levels to it.
When it comes to that type of product specifically, is it, I mean, you mentioned earlier the scarcity of it. Give me maybe another type of shoe or another type of sneaker that is very, very rare and hard to come by.
Yeah, I mean, you have like in the year 2005, I want to say the Nike SB Dunk staple, right? 100 pairs released. It goes crazy. New York City, thousands of people online for 100 pairs of shoes. That shoe goes for upwards of $50,000 now.
Unbelievable. Obviously, some opportunities to be making some money here, and that brings us back to the market itself. It's been a bit of a challenging year, obviously, for stocks in general, and that coincides with a bit of a challenging year in the sneaker market in general. How do you see those two worlds kind of coming together?
Well, overall, the general economy does affect, right, like consumerism and people buying into this product that's fairly expensive. You know, if people don't have money to invest in the stocks, they probably don't have money to spend on a $500 pair of shoes that they're going to wear. So there is that correlation, but, you know, you still have shoes like these that release and people are finding the funds somewhere, right? The collectors will sell part of their collection, liquidate it and sell it to attain something new, something worth more. So, you know, the traders are live, similar to the stock market too, right? If you're trading 5 years ago, trading 2 years ago, you're still trading today, even though the market's down. You're still finding those opportunities to come up.
That's amazing. So exciting. Coming up this weekend, guys, again, in Toronto, SneakerCon at the Enercare Center. If you are in the city, tell people what they need to know, where they can get more information, and when the show is exactly.
Yeah, sneakercon.com. Tickets are available. They're also available at the door. Bring your shoes. If you have sneakers that you want to sell, or even if you have bought sneakers online and you don't know if they might be authentic, you can bring them. eBay's there, providing free authentication both days of the event. Yeah, come one, come all. There is no age limitation. There's no demographic. It's just anybody who's into fashion, sneakers, and wants to see what it's all about, come check us out.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, guys, at the Enercare Center here in Toronto. Check it out, sneakercon.com. You mentioned the eBay aspect here and the authentication. Tell us a little bit more about that, because that's something that the company itself has been working on over the past couple of years, and now has eBay on board with that.
Yeah, so eBay approached us in 2020. They wanted to launch authentication, something they had never done. They had never, you know, gotten into the logistics of the peer-to-peer transactions that were happening on their marketplace. So with counterfeit, you know, the market being so thriving, these products being even more and more expensive, and the counterfeiters making more of it, and getting better at it, they needed to step in. And they came to us. We had launched authentication at our events in 2013 and on our own marketplace in 2018. So they came to us to consult and to launch that program for them. And now they've authenticated over 2 million pairs since.
Amazing. If you have interest in sneakers such as these, guys, there'll be these and more to have a look at. SneakerCon happening this weekend again here in Toronto at the Enercare Center. Check it out, sneakercon.com. Will DeBoard is managing director of SneakerCon. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this. This has been an absolute pleasure. That's
real pleasure, honestly.
It's amazing to see these in person, guys. Sean, I know you're probably having some issues sitting over there and want to come and have a look at these.
Yeah, issues, yeah, something like that. But no, what a great segment. I just want to say shout out to Will. Like, how good is that guy? Talking about liquidity. Talking about day trading, everything like that. I saw you drop those terms in there. That was awesome. Exactly. Yeah, what a great. I'm going to be there tomorrow at about noon, so I'm really super excited to go down there. Yeah, I've got on my shoes right now, you know, ready to rock and roll with these bad boys. So all day, thanks to SneakerCon actually for these shoes. So
that was have them here for the best.
Yeah, we should have the Louis right there. I'll show. But yeah, what a great opportunity, you know, to check out, have some fun this weekend. Go check them out. And of course, you know, many of our viewers are in the United States, so check them out on Instagram. They post where all of their. I think it's Toronto then Phoenix, right? Is that after that? Yeah. So they'll be in Phoenix, Arizona. The weather may be a little different
than it is here.
So check those guys out, and thanks for coming out. And again, shout out to Brendan. I mean, the guy. It doesn't matter the desk Brendan's at. It's just
that desk is
every interview just gets destroyed by that guy. So thanks so much. In a good way. Destroyed means a good way, like really great. That was a great interview. I was really excited to have that. So thanks for the boys from SneakerCon showing up here today. And the market be running. You could see here I have Amazon. I don't think I can buy those LVMH shoes on Amazon. That's for sure. But I'm short Amazon right now. You could probably buy fakes maybe on Amazon, but not the real deal. We were able to get out. I mean, you guys, right before that interview, we were building the short. 4. We talked about that against the high. So there it is, man. Like, it was a 20-cent worth of risk trade. It went all the way down to 80 right there, printing us nicely in the money there for that. So we only have a small piece left and still the same out. So small piece left, same out. What a good trade there. And our Google is, by the way, now 50 cents in the money as that's starting to blow back up to the upside. Looking basically at day highs right now of 103 for Google. So far so good here. But yeah, what a great opportunity to have these guys come through. And I'm very, very happy that we're able to do that.
Yeah, fantastic. Hope you guys got something out of it, which I know you did. I already saw in the chat. It's like, let's go SneakerCon. Everyone's excited about it. The market just made that big bounce. But we're still, man, we're still respecting some of those highs. I got my line in the sand drawn, and we're well away from it on the ES. But NVIDIA here, off of that high of the day, that 131. I've taken it twice now. Was able to get some out 131.5, and now a bit of a tighter out as it is cresting towards a bit of a break. I mentioned square or block. I'll never call it the right thing. The problem is if you have a name that really perfectly reflects the business and then you go ahead and change it, well, I'm then damn sure not going to call you by the real thing. I still call Skydome the Skydome, not the Rogers Center. But block, there you go, I said it. It tried to get through that previous low of the day. Down 6% into a market that's trying to go upside and trying to go green. It could not take out those highs or could not take out that previous support level. So I shorted it next time through at 65.20. I got some out 65s. Couldn't quite get this fill down here in front of the low of the day, but I'll rinse and repeat. I mean, if we break out 65 quarter, 65 half, we probably want to get out of Dodge on this name. And then I'm not ignoring your small caps out there. That AAOI tried a second turn at that high of the day, could not break 385, so the reverse at 75. Looks like it is going to fail at this point. Not out of it yet. I want to give it a little bit of room down to this 70 level, but it looks like AAOI might be running out of steam here. Not to say that it doesn't have a second run in it, but if we fail to break, it might have to dip down into 350 before we can actually get back into that long. We'll start thinking about getting into the long. NEO, that's going to end up cruising at least off that 20 level with the market trying to go higher. NEO still holding that 20 to that downside. And last, I want to go Tesla for you guys here. Tesla, it's trying to break 302. That 301 long looks like it was a bit of gold. Unfortunately, I'm not in that 301. But that 302 looks like it's going to be a solid break level. Tesla dragging the market with it to the upside. And Netflix not really going. So I kind of feel like Netflix is going to do what it did yesterday, where it just can't seem to make that run. It is looking a little bit weaker than the overall market, unfortunately. Going to be a bit of an ugly one. And Stano, I get it. AOI is shaking out the paper hands. But there's a very big difference between being long, which I'm sure a lot of people would be long down here at 330, right? Like previous pre-market lows, does a nice bull flag, break out from here, support at 330. If you're long 330 and you're getting out because it breaks 370, that might be paper hands. Trend still upside. If you're long literally at the high of the day, 75 into 4, that's a very different trade. You're not holding that trade going back into 350. It doesn't make any sense, especially if you're a day trader who has to be out at 4 o'clock. And let's not forget, you do run into some resistance if it gets to 4, certainly at 450. I always look at those bag holder zones and want to make sure that I'm not getting stuck in front of one. So I would rather just be getting out. If we get a chance at that 350 and it wants to pull back another 20 cents, yeah, I'll go for it. I'll go for the long in front of there. I want to see it pull back first, give a little bit of support, and then work into this trade. I understand what can happen. You could end up getting wicked out. Sometimes you just make that bottom wick, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I'm always willing to make the bottom wick. If you're not willing to make bottom wick, then you're not willing to go long. If you're not willing to make top wick, you're not willing to go short, because you have to have an out somewhere. And if your price area is good, sometimes your stop is the one that gets run. And I got to live with that. If that's me getting run, I got run on Netflix. I mean, I said I'd show you guys how ugly this was on Netflix. I don't know if you guys, it's hard to see, but this is, I'm in the long here, and I got up, it is what it is. I got out, and it ended up holding like an absolute champion on Netflix. And the level I really liked was 28s. And I think the problem was because 28 was a level I had conviction in, when it was a long at 30 and the market was weak, I didn't feel like that was the good entry point. I felt like it was going to retest, and I get that double bottom at 38, and you can see what ended up happening in Netflix. Am I angry about it? No, not really. That's the cost of doing business, because sometimes I'm going to average in and say, oh, 230, who cares? This is level. It's a good long. And you just go long, 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 long. And if 28 breaks, you've ruined your day. But But if you take a tight stop, you live to work another day. That's all I care about here. Sometimes it's not going to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. And yet, there's a couple other names out there worth looking at. I want to get to Ford. I want to get to Fubo as well. But keep an eye on those futures. Square just broke that resistance level, so I'm flipped to Square now. And we're getting pretty close, 15 points away from 3,900. I'm not saying the market's going to go crazy if we break 3,900, but if you're looking for longs or if you're holding shorts, you might want to consider how much you like that short if we break 3,900. And if you're in the long, you might want to consider holding said long if we break that 39. I think that's going to be a monster level if it does get there. And then remember, Fubo, not at that $5 range. It's been getting absolutely shellacked. It rocked that $5. Anything this week, which is holding lows, down 10% SSR into a screaming market, this is something that you probably want to beat up on. I understand Pat McAfee and the whole promotion of it, and that gave it a little bit of juice. I did try some longs on it the other day, but really, the short at 5, since it broke 5, has been the trade. There's just no way around it. The stock is headed to the downside. I think you're shorting pops in Fubo until proven otherwise. And speaking of shorts, I got one left, and I don't think it's going to last. That's that NVIDIA. We've rinsed and repeated this bad boy, but we're about to take out this top, and once we do, I'm gone. There's just no chance I want to be in this. NVIDIA breaks away from this area here, and I think we're going to 132. So I will give it to the fresh high that we've just made, but nothing past that. There's just no chance. Like I said, you do not want to turn red. If you're having a good day, which we're having solid days here, you don't want to give it all back going against the grain. So right now the level's holding, and we have a chance to flush back in, but you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight anything. Allow this market to make its move. If we reject, I can hold back into 130s, maybe even VWAP. But if we're going to continue this ride to the upside, I want to make sure I'm not getting run over. Of course, as I just prepared for the worst, NVIDIA comes right back down. So I was sitting there talking about how I was about to get stopped out, and then NVIDIA comes right back down for the short trade. It happens.
I was actually just looking with the boys here about LVMH. Check out the stock right now. So those shoes dropped back in February. The stock was 160, right? Now LVMH down to 128. So you're down about 15% on the stock, but the shoes are up 10x. So, some good investments there in the shoe game. So, check that out. Really, really excited. Meanwhile, so Amazon, still kind of hovering around these good prices right now. We do have the imbalance coming, right? So you're about an hour away from the close of the market, but we do have the S&P 500 rebalancing coming today, and that should be pretty exciting. I was just filming something for SneakerCon, so I apologize on some of Neil's calls there. I wasn't totally paying attention to what he covered. But let's go over to AMC. I mean, why not, right? AMC. Ape Nation right now. Where's our little ape? There it is right there. And again, when you have diamonds bigger than your head, you're doing something right. Today, not so much. AMC down 7%, back down into $9. So let's see, basically where does that sort of hold out? There it is, $9, a decent level. It topped back down to 9 at the beginning of September, a bottom of 8. AMC today, okay volume, 19 million. Let's see what happens here into the close. I believe there's a buy for AMC into the close there for the rebalance, so that could be something to look at right there. Bed Bath & Beyond's another name that, we haven't talked about in a bit. Unfortunately, it's still holding this $8, I guess, fortunately, it's still holding the $8 mark, but for now, there's that 8 bottom. And this is why I want to keep bringing this up over and over and over to everybody. We've talked about this 8 bottom many times. Sure, it's broken, and that's part of the risk, right? Like when you had CPI and you had some of these negative, this is even before CPI, but that was when we had that unfortunate incident with the CFO. But, it's held $8. $8 looks like a decent long here on Bed Bath & Beyond. So I don't think we should necessarily ignore that stock too much. As the market's trying to pull back and making these highs, I think it's time to exit this Google trade. So this was a nice reversal into the long. Remember, we were short. We talked about reversing on that break. We took a piece out on that high right there for about 20 cents. It did rip about 60, 70 cents in the money. So 102.70 or so there as the top for Google. So we'll see if that comes into play. I'm excited for it. That's the top there for Google. I think if it trails too much lower than that, we'll get out. But see you later, SneakerCon. We'll check you out tomorrow. That was a fun little segment there.
Absolutely, a lot of fun there. And I just want to get to this because HRTX has been halted. HRTX has been halted for over an hour now, about an hour and a half. They got FDA approval for, I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. It prevents
you never will.
kind of, I know, man. It's just post-operative nausea and vomiting. So whatever HTX 019 is, it got approvals. That news has now been disseminated, so there is a reopen time. That'll be in 15 minutes. So HRTX was halted for an hour and a half, it looks like here, and it's going to open up. We'll see. Indicated open is going to be higher, obviously on good news. So that's about 478. That would be here. If it opened currently where it's indicating, you'd be looking at, what is that, like a 16% gain to the upside. I'll show you. Yeah, like a 16% gain or so to the upside. So strong move potentially here in HRTX when it does open. It'll be on our radars, but we have to wait about 15 minutes. Always look at that NASDAQ halt page. Like if you're curious about any stock that halts, the reason why it halted, when it's going to reopen, go to NASDAQtrader.com and search trade halts. It's a fantastic page. I have it up every single day. I wouldn't trade without it. It's just a good resource, especially if you trade things that are going to move. Speaking of movement, Tesla just broke 302. Did I get it? Did I get it? Can I get 11s? No, I didn't get 5s. I didn't get 12. Bueller.
Is this thing on? Bueller, report to the office.
Oh, come on.
Does anybody,
Tesla.
I mean, I think people know Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I hope so.
I would hope so. That's a classic movie.
go.
And that guy, what is he driving around? Is it a Ferrari?
It was the Ferrari.
I think it's the Ferrari there, the
Ferrari.
1960s Ferrari Spider.
And then the whole, let's run it in reverse to run back.
That was ridiculous. Those guys, honestly, how stupid those guys
the
are
dumbest.
is actually pretty
but the
funny.
best part is his boy's 40 years old in the
It's
movie. And he's playing
ridiculous.
a high
That's a
school
ridiculous
kid.
movie
Because
for
only
that.
in the 80s would you do that. I understand actors all the time. They have. It could be an older person that plays a teen. But there's a difference between a 25-year-old playing a high school kid and someone that looks like they're 40 playing a high school. Great movie though. Great movie. I love Ferris Bueller. It's a classic. If you've never seen it, then watch it. That's
if you've never seen it, watch it. I mean, that's fantastic. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Don't stay in tonight. Do whatever you want. But if you are going to stay in and you haven't watched that movie, that's a pretty fun one there.
Oh, come
I
on,
don't want to
Tesla.
show it to my kids because he drops down and talks about some holding the thermometer against the light there, things like that. It's really fun.
You never did that?
To be sick. No, I never did that. I don't know. I didn't miss too many days. And that's the good thing about jinx, first of all, on this one. But I don't remember the last time getting colds or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it's because we've all been isolated forever.
I was about to say.
And my kids, going back to school, they'll probably bring something home.
I was going to say,
on
it's
that
going to start
one,
up. It's going to start up again.
Yeah, you're right.
I
Probably.
haven't had a common cold in forever, man.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't me. So I did get Tesla long eventually. I did miss the initial break, but then on the way back in, I got 302.12. While that was happening, NVIDIA retested the high. So it got back to that high. I was able to take some more shares at the high and then got some out scalping it. And obviously at some point, you keep doing this, it'll break the top and you just got to get out of Dodge, which I will do. I don't plan on holding NVIDIA through this level. If it makes a fresh high, I just want to be out. As a matter of fact, I need to be adjusting my stop order, which I have just done. So Tesla long. I'm still in the Neo long. It's not really doing a heck of a lot of anything. Still in the New York last I checked. It's still not really doing anything, but it's holding a higher low. That's a pretty decent sign. But with the market trying to scream higher, it would be nice if Neo would make a bit of a move to the upside. I mean, let's see. I want some exposure just in case if we break out that 3,900. I just feel like this market could really start to go. We have 45 minutes until those imbalances come. I do feel like they are going to be spicy, but I have zero clue what direction they will come out. When you get an index rebalance, I'm pretty sure it'll be a big number and you could have some movement, but guessing which direction it's going to be in, that's a wait and see.
So this is on me, and I just, a little flustered here this afternoon, but just wasn't prepared. I had the wrong out there for Amazon. I would never get out at 40 there. Well, I was trying to get out at 50, so it just punched me out. So you are going to see a different price on board for me because I punched out at 40. And I was like, what? And then I just punched right back in. So I suffer a couple penny hit there. That's obviously that's my bad. So if it does come back up through 50 there, then we're just going to get out. But that is, I did mean to leave this for 50. So I mean, look, I punch back in, I'm going to lose more here. So if it does break, there it is, and it breaks through 50, we're going to get out of this name as Amazon. Ever since it took down, there it goes. Ever since it took down that one, I can't finish my sentence. Ever since it took down that 123, it's really been sort of more support rather than resistance at that level. So, we'll keep on this. We'll keep watching it. I'd hate to have just made top wick there, but if I did, I did. That's fine. We're preserving the victories, man. I mean, Google's still trying to get to day's high, and I think that we could probably take that out if it does do that. I mean, this is a good reverse flip over to the long, take out a little bit there on that previous high, and now we're back into this as a day high. So 102.90, I'm going to take out Google, and then just, if it keeps going up, great. I just don't know if I believe in this move too much, so that's why we're going to take it out on that upside. And you're not diddling in the middle no more, man. You are now taking out the day's high in the NASDAQ. Like I said, I don't understand why this market's going up now. I wouldn't want to be holding longs into the close, but there it is right there. Finished with a bang on Google by taking out that last 90 cents there, 80 cents for a winner there on Google as it continues to march to the high side. And this is why, look, I got back into Amazon because I simply put the wrong price. So I'm okay getting out, but this is why you get out. Now you're up to 123.67, and the market's cooking with gas right now to the upside. So just be careful. Remember, those imbalances are coming. I gave you that it's net 2 billion. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but that's the number that I have, and this is what Brendan is over there at the big desk with something else.
Lithium stocks have been having a pretty good day, to say the least. Here's TMC, the metals company, up 25% a second ago, coming back in a bit, but big day. Anything lithium related making a move here this afternoon?
Which technically includes Tesla. Does it not include Tesla? Not maybe as directly as the lithium company, but certainly Tesla can benefit from that. The market's going up. I think Tesla's just relatively strong, trending up, and broke the high. It's not going to hurt, but I do have a target out, which sometimes having a target sucks, but this wick here, ignore that. Just the afternoon resistance at about 304. It was like 304 and a half. So maybe I should be on the south side of 304. Because the other thing too is as we approach 3,900, like I'd rather be, if we fail at 3,900, it would suck if you have a long and you don't cover that one and we reject that price. I just feel like that's a pretty reasonable thing to expect that we could reject that 3,900. So I'm going to get out in front of 304 here. The breakout is working for now. It does mean, I think obviously, but also unfortunately, that I am now out of NVIDIA. So there you go. NVIDIA broke out. Eventually this will happen. Like you short a level and then the level breaks, you get out of that level. Now I could have reversed, obviously, but like hindsight's going to be 20/20. Neo's starting to work back to the upside. I like Tesla long. I could have added NVIDIA, but I just preferred the short off that level. You can't have absolutely everything out there, but looks like that reversal was quite good. I'm looking at Apple too, because the biggest and the baddest of them all. And I apologize for those wicks. It's kind of crazy. It broke that 150. It is now at 151 and has not gotten past its morning high. The morning high is 151.5. So as we get close to 3,900, if you're trading something like an Apple, those are the levels you want to start coinciding with. That 150 on Apple, 39 on the ES, Tesla's previous close, or that 304 at level, those start to become big resistance levels. We're not getting through key resistance without Apple breaking it, without Tesla breaking it. They got to go.
I don't understand what you're saying there, Bears and Bulls. Can I ask Brendan if he feels like when you get a new car, I don't know, if it feels like when, okay, I get it, because he's at the desk there, what Brendan feels like that now that he's got this new toy at the desk. Yeah, sense. I mean, we'll be throwing to Brendan soon, and he hears me, so I think he's given his opinion before. He likes it. Let's go over to Brendan quickly for a thumbs up. How about that? Doesn't have to say anything. You like it, Brendan? Yes, yes.
like a kid in a
No
candy
thumbs
store.
up, but it was a lot of this. It was a lot of like Beavis and Butthead action right there. That means yes on that one. So what I was sort of clapping for right there was Amazon. We just took the 1-to-1 risk to reward right there. I was waiting for 60. I don't know if that came through. It did not come through, so I did not get filled, so it didn't come through. And it went as low as, what? No, that's not true because I'm bidding 60s. So I'm bidding 60. That did not go to 50 right there. But here it comes. There it is. So there it is. There's my 60 fill. And now we're going on Amazon to the downside right now. Let's see if it can. I'm going to take another. Ooh. I was going to say I'm going to take another piece out in the 50s. Let's do that again if it comes back down. But just right now, my out is 124, right? The short is 123.84. And the point, you know, the guys from SeekerCon, they're here. They see everything. They see that we're real. We're trading, everything like that. And the guy goes to me like he wishes this was available when he first started trading as well. And that's what we're all about, right? So do we as well. I mean, that's why we created this thing. We saw a need, created this, and boom goes the dynamite, as they say, or as I say anyways. But there it is right there, down to 60. So that's a 24-cent win. Look, I can still lose on this trade. I'm only out of 30% of it. Let's see if we can hold that top today. Again, we just, like, that. I don't think that just went to 50 there, but maybe it did. So I'm going to put some more bids. My next bid is actually down here, 123.30. I'm going to take one more fill in the 50s, and then I want to see this 30 print come through.
Yeah, I did it again. That thing where I didn't get Netflix. Like, come on.
That stock is, like, I'm embarrassed that was the one that I sold. Like,
what in the actual,
what
Netflix
is
on it today. Like, Netflix, Netflix is up $14 or $13 top to bottom. And look, it's not making a huge dent on the daily chart. I'll zoom in to show you, but you know, it breaks this high, and look, obviously next week we have the Fed coming through. Caveat aside, it breaks this 42 area, and it's got another 15 or 12 bucks to this 255 top that we recently put in. So it's got some room to still run. It's not going to look good, so let's forget about it. But yesterday's high, it is coming into resistance. Like everything else in the market, it is coming into resistance. Tesla just turned around here. So it got right up to 304. And this is on me. I was like, yeah, look at that 304. Offer too high. It was like cents away from where it got to that top, and I don't get it out. It's still pretty much at that breakout price, but that's how quickly we've been rejecting. Well, no matter how strong this market gets the last few days, when it makes a turn, it makes a violent turn. So you have to have some targets out there. At least pay yourself along the way, because this is what can happen. I think it's still valid if we can hold this 302 area, but we got close to 3,900. They could see it on the horizon, and then we ran away from that bad boy. Like, it's just, yeah. This market does not want to give us the green. It just doesn't want to do it.
It does not, but does want to give us some of this. You know, Neil and I both up today, so it's so far so good, man, on the day. And we just absolutely, like, now we only have 40% left. We actually just got, I told you we were bidding 30s, right? I mean, there it is right there, 36 we were bidding, and it just came in, filled us down there at 36 for another 50-cent winner, FOD, on Amazon, as that's starting to come back down into the downside right now. So let's see, my next bid right now is at 27. Specifically, because that's how old I turn tomorrow. So we'll be there at that level. Here it comes. Come on. Give me that 27. Like, if it stops here because it's like, nah, you ain't 27, then yeah, maybe. You know what? I mean, look, I lied. I'm 32. So I'll take a third. There you go. So I'll take a 32
That's a
bid.
good number, at least.
That's not bad. I mean, that's a little more reasonable, right? So there it is. We'll take a 32 out right now on that. And like, this always happens to me. I wait for lows and then I see it and I'm like, there's some resistance there. And that's part of like my training, is to always watch the level 2 and watch this. And when it slows down, I tend just to get out. So trying to do better on holding. But you guys saw these trades, right? Look where we're short right here. We're short here, 123.30, 123. I mean, forget about that because we got out, but it's these ones. 125s, 32s. Look where we got out, right there, 40. And then that was a mistake, so we got out 50. That's like a 20, 25-cent hit, right? These takes on the way down, we're now 55 cents in the money and still have 40% left of this trade. So nice little move back down in here for Amazon. We will take some more out, man. That's really, really great. The one thing I want to show you is, okay, that makes sense.
Fine.
Didn't sound like it was right, but I think it's fine now. is this. And I went back to it, right? Like I sat back down, I did a little thing there with SneakerCon, and then I was like, let me go back over to the sticky note because there were key levels that I wanted to do. And right there was 124.50 on Amazon, right? So I basically just felt a little more confident in the fact that I looked at 124.50 before. We came all the way back up to 124. So I felt like the risk to reward on this was there. I was going to get out if it broke 124. So, you know, the risk to reward was there on this trade. I'm glad to be making it here as we get into the close. There's that 124 level, right? So that's why that bottom is actually 123.70. So good little tick there. And see, now that I see this going back up, I automatically think I need to get out. But we'll see if we can hold this into the close. The S&P, sorry, the NASDAQ.
I kind of feel like the shorts might be good.
You think the short is? I was just going to say, what do you think?
I'm thinking the shorts are good. Like I'm watching Tesla here.
We tried to get to 12,000 on the NASDAQ, so you might be right.
Tesla's trying to break, and you know what? I'm going to go with my gut, and my gut is telling me get out. Because you got this wick top, and it's also a wick top on the NASDAQ, or the ES as well, right? Like, you got this wick top, it's at a key level, you're barcoding here. Not barcoding, but you're putting in a lower high. Yeah, I think the shorts might be good. Look, I got out of my NVIDIA short when it broke out, but look at that, wick top, and it's like if I just jammed right back into the exact same trade I was taking before, right? And while that was happening, because, hey, try to keep it real, AAOI. If you're not willing to make bottom wick, sometimes you're not willing to trade it. So AAOI, if you just got in where I got out of it, I did like the short originally. That was pretty good. The long didn't quite follow through, but now the long does want to follow through. On volume, this could still break 4 even for a bit of a breakout. On the big cap names, though, I am going back to favoring the short. I tried some breakouts long. I didn't do it in NVIDIA, but did it in Tesla. It ended up working out, but I still think this is that's a rejection of the high of the day, which tells me we're still looking at some shorts. Brendo?
Just checking on Fisker here. What a day for some of these EV names. Back to the downside we go. We've given it all back and then some. Now down 0.5% for Fisker, Lucid as well. Same thing as you guys mentioned. What a day. All the way to 17.5. Right back down like it never even happened.
And that HRTX reopened. It was that positive, whatever. I forget the name of the. Anyways, they got that positive FDA approval of HTX019. Open gets as high as $5. It's reversing off of 5. I'm looking at this little consolidation here, 450 to 455. If I was to play this stock, it's got to be in front of that. And then if it breaks 450, I'd want to get out. So risk to reward, if you take 75s, it has to break 5 for you to go 1-to-1. If you're beneath 75, well, then the risk to reward's a little bit better. So as I say that, I probably should have just taken 75s right away. But if it breaks 450, I do not want to be in this name. But I'm trying to catch a little bit of a dip here. I'm actually going to preemptively throw a stop. So if I get the fill, I don't have to worry about it. So just open back up here. It's only been open for a few minutes. It's still shaking itself out. And by the way, it could still go sideways, bounce up and down, and then take out $5 for a potential break. The only problem with the breakout trade is this is 525. You know, it's just a couple of days ago, you were rejecting 5.25. So I'd much rather be getting this in the middle and playing it to 5 and playing it to 525 than trying to sit there and take a $5 breakout. The news is certainly out, and it is catching a bit of a bid here. But I'd rather get a little bit better of a price here on HRRTX.
I just want to say, like Neil was saying, that, you know, you aren't trading unless you make, you know, sometimes you're going to make the bottom wick. The thing is like, unfortunately, these things are not great for trading. We can't tell if we're making the bottom wick or not. So it's like, that's why, like on Amazon, when we got short, and then you'll see Neil do that all the time, like you make the bottom wick, but then realize your position is fine and get right back in. So sometimes that does happen. And so that's a very, very true word. And you just got to stick with the plan that you've had. And as long as, like, you know, something really hasn't broken in your thesis, it is always good to stick with it and make sure that is something. My wife's a little mad at me from last night. You know why? Because she sat there and she made, it was really healthy too. Some great hummus, carrots, snow peas, cherry tomatoes, celery, and then some.
I'm a big celery guy, but.
Yeah. You know what? But dipping into hummus, yeah. Eating celery by itself, nepa. There was some tortilla there as well.
It's a vessel
so that
for
was good.
Peanut butter. For me.
But anyway, we watched the football game. But we did not see the second episode of Handmaid's Tale. That's her number one. That's her favorite show, Handmaid's Tale. So the first episode was pretty good. She had a guest appearance.
I was about to say, yeah.
On season 3, episode 6, something like that, on Handmaid's Tale. But anyways, that's her favorite show, so just shout out to her. And I promised her we'll watch it at some point this weekend. So.
I usually make it a point that if there's like a really famous book or something,
right,
that I will not watch the book or the movie, or I will not watch the movie or the show until I've read the book.
Right.
However, I've tried twice to read that book, and I do not get very far. I don't know what it is. I know Margaret Atwood's is a great author. I just, for whatever reason, I just can't do it. And I love reading. I'm always reading at least 2 or 3 books. I can't do it. I'm just gonna watch the show and forget about it because the show's
loosely based.
So
apparently, it's not. The book just gives this gives you everything in between. It's kind of like. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know enough about it.
Well, HRTX just went without me. So.
HRTX just went up, and there goes Amazon again, dropping down some cash here as we do get out. Ooh, shoot. Oh, man. Hi, my name is Sean, and I do this every single day where I'm like, why didn't I hold more? But you know what?
Oh, now it's falling apart.
Oh, man. Okay, maybe a little late birthday gift here from Amazon because here's the move right back down. That could have been really. It is a day maker because I made money on this, and now just by closing this right now, I'm going to be at the highest spot I've been at all day. You hear me say that because that's part of trading here at Day Trade the World. We have a column that shows your loss from your highest spot, and mine on close will be 0. So that's good. But there's the pullback in. It's taking down the 50 period. Oh yeah. Remember this morning, I literally wrote this letter right there, this note, I guess, on a sticky note. I'm actually going to stick this well, I stick it there, you won't be able to see, but I'm going to stick this somewhere where I can see it because you know what it says? Hold the long or short, and I wrote the word hero here because what I meant by that was when you get a wick like this to the upside and you want to hold for the move back down, I wrote it down. Hold the long or the short back to the 1 minute 50 period pink, I even wrote down. There it is, right back into that. So next time we'll try to follow our own rules, but I won't. I'll always scalp it out. So that's part of who you are and how you trade. And I don't think that anybody should change that. You should just try to improve on some of your methods. So maybe hold a little bit more. I'll never be able to hold the whole thing. What's up, Brendan?
I was actually just testing my audio, guys, but Lucas was unaware. Anyways, I can tell you about this. Crude oil back to the downside once again today. I was just going to flip over to the current contract, but I just saw some of the contracts wrapping up trading for the day. Down again for crude, it would appear, but a negative session for both nat gas and crude, guys, to wrap up the week.
All right.
So I actually, you know what's interesting? I just made one of those gut decisions on. So I took the short as HRTX failed that $5 break, and I got into it, and then I was like, no, zoom out a second, Neil. And then I thought, oh goodness, it's gonna bounce off this area here. So I get out immediately, which, maybe it's not that strong. Now it's gonna pull back into 475, but sometimes you end up going with your gut. But I did take the breakdown. I was talking about why I didn't like the long at 5 even because you had that said overhead resistance. I don't like a long like this into a level like that where it's just completely rejected. But then the second I was in the short, I was like, wait a minute, go the other way, man. It's got a bunch of chopping here. I don't like that as anything other than a scalp, so I end up taking it out. That looks like it's going to be the wrong decision as we're falling back into that 480. That does set me back up. For the initial thought was that if it can start bouncing off of 450 or so, well, then that would give me a little bit of a long. But that's a ways away. We'd have to fall significantly, make that short look like it would have been absolute gold, which I guess it would have been. But I am looking for a bit of not a dead cat bounce, but it probably shook some people out of the long at this point, HRTX, and might have to make a bit of a bid at 455, 460 before I would get into it. I'm jumping back into NVIDIA, giving back up to that high, but guess what's looming? That 3,900. So last time we rejected 3,900. If we blow through 3,900, all bets are off for the shorts. You do not want to get caught in something. You don't want to be caught holding a short if we're breaking that 3,900. But first things first, I want to see if I can catch this bid on the HRTX. If I get along here, I'm playing it back to 5. I'm not assuming it's going to make a fresh high of the day. I think that would be a little bit that's presumptuous to think it's going to take out the high, but it could bounce off that consolidation on good news, give you a run back to the top, and that's definitely something that I can work off of. And I might start it in front of 70 like I was willing to do before, and then add to it in the 60s with a stop at 450.
I was just setting my order up here to basically just reload this Amazon trade. I mean, it just went up to 8. Like, I was just like, what? Right there, ripped up to 80. It missed us. I mean, I was literally at the same spot. So I'm just going to stick with that, man. I'm going to wait for that 84, 85 to come through. If it does, great. Again, not respecting that 50 period. Looks like it's going to haunt. Look at this move, right? All these shorts. Look where we bounced to, 50 period. Again, 50 period right there. Came in, 50 period again. So yeah, where did that wick just go down to right now? 34, 35, the 50 period's at 25. Okay, so I'm gonna put just another, I mean, if I'm gonna get out anyways, I'm gonna put a bid at 36, 37 here, just to get out where that bottom wick was. I mean, that bottom wick was, looks like 37. So we'll see about getting out at 37 if it does come back down. I actually put it at 36. Hopefully we get that fill. But yeah, because you know what, if I'm gonna take a bid at the 50 period, that's 25. You know, 10 cents at this point. I only have 20% left, so it's not like the complete end of the world, that is for sure. So yeah, so far so good here. Let's see where we go. Looks like we're trying to go upside, but I am here at 123.85 just in case this wants to get back up to the upside. But yeah, okay, I think this time it's Brendan. Let's go.
A heads up, guys, on Alibaba and Didi, if you're trading over on the OTC markets. The information, just posting this, an article on why people are going to have to wait for the Ant Group IPO another 6 months, potentially. So not much of a reaction, but a heads up on Baba here.
Is that IPO ever happening? Like, how
Ant?
long have we been
man.
hearing about the Ant IPO? It's just like, it's kind of like, is Reddit ever going to go to market?
Amazon just went to 38 right there. So Amazon came all the way back. Ant? No. Ant Financials with Baba, Alibaba. You're talking about ARM. Yeah, that's Trader Pratt is back in the bill. How was the workout? Yeah? Basketball? And? Oh, you played against other dudes? Okay. Well, anyways, they can't hear you talking. Greg and Pratt versus some other dudes, and they lost. So that's what that is there. But at least, hey, that's a great workout, man. Playing basketball, come on.
We need to do like an intramural team or something.
Well, now, yeah, see, now it's like, there you go.
We
like,
got a
you know,
team.
Pratt.
We could have a team.
Meanwhile, money. I mean, there it is right there. Amazon came right back in now, and there it goes. So nice little move back down in. We just took that fill, 36s. I sat there. And again, like, this is, I always say this about the show. Please hit the like button if you can. I mean, this is the real deal. Like, there's a trade for you right there. We are actively trading for you every single day. Every single day the market's open, you'll have two hosts here both times, right? Plus Brendan coming with the news all day. I don't know how we could improve the show. Please drop me a line wherever. I want to give a big thanks. I think we've improved the show a lot with Bears versus Bulls being our moderator and making sure that everything's been chilled out there. But, you know, if there's any other segments or anything like that, I feel like we're really covering it all. We've added crypto. We've added a little bit of Europe there as well. And, yeah, we're getting bigger and better. That's part of the reason why, you know, we do a little collab there. It's not a collab. We just had SneakerCon come through. And it's just like trying to give a little bit more
fun too,
interest
right?
and fun. And it's Friday, right? And for those of you that are like, oh, I don't want to watch, that's what we're going to do on a Friday. We had the Wings Challenge on a Friday. People were talking. Would you want to do that jelly bean one? I mean, that's what, I don't know if I want to do the jelly bean challenge. I've heard some. What is it where you can
The way
taste
it was described
like,
to me, it's like, it's not a very appealing thing to do because like you're
That's
just
what I'm
eating.
thinking.
You just, it's like, hey, let's put some food. Let me just eat something, and then maybe it's disgusting. And maybe it's not.
I was just putting my note on my screen.
I'm sure you guys would enjoy because, like, now that I've probably said,
have you guys heard of that, anyways? The jelly bean challenge, the guys.
I don't know. I'll probably just, yeah.
I mean, I'll do it. We'll do it for the people.
Man, I'll do anything if it's going to be fun. I just promise you, like, I'll be like, the first one that's disgusting, you're just going to see me get angry.
I'm done. Yeah.
I'm not going to quit. I don't quit at the
Well,
stuff, I'm going to get mad, though.
You can't be angry. There is a chance. What is it? You have 5 of them, and you have, like, it's like a 20% chance that you eat one of those
nasty jelly bean. I wanted a good jelly bean.
Brendan?
The best part about that, guys, is that they're sugar still. So even if they taste bad, it's still sugar, so who cares? DLTR, quick note on Dollar Tree, just breaking back to the downside there. There was some volume that came back in, but what a day for these. DG and DLTR up nicely.
So just for the record, if I could pretend on this chart, which I can't do. If I could pretend that this was short and this is me getting out of the short, that would look really good. But I went long here. I got 78. You guys sort of saw this. I got out of the short right away. It was like gut reaction to get out of the short because I felt like this would show some signs of strength on the positive news. Now it looks like it wants to put in that test of 50. And my stop's in. So it's not as if if it goes past 50, you're going to see me stop out. If that's going to suck, NVIDIA is going to try to work here. It's trying to get back down to VWAP, and I want to show you guys, you know what, let's go to the daily chart, because the thing about NVIDIA here is you are still breaking beneath. Like, as long as you're below 132, like, you are breaking significant support on NVIDIA here. And I think that's one of the reasons I do always sort of favor the short in the stock, at least where it is. Oh, and by the way, NEO was working. It got up to that 2020. And in hindsight, I probably should have just got out at said 2020. Everything, I still have a piece of it. It's trending back toward low. It's now 330. It's getting close to the imbalances. The shorts look like they're in. I'm not giving this the low of the day anymore. If this breaks 20 even, I'm out. Like, I'll give it to 20 flat because there's no need to hold it pretty much against me. I'm long at 01s. Why hold it the extra to the bottom? If the market wants to come down, NEO's just going to break the low. So I'll just get out at 20 if I can, and then see if we can't regroup. About 20 minutes till the imbalances, like we said. Maybe there's something, maybe they're not. I like NVIDIA. I'm going to hold that to the short side. Remember when I was like, the shorts feel like they're good, I'm going to jump back into NVIDIA? Tesla briefly would have given me a reprieve and worked out, and I could have maybe got an extra buck out of that, but the trend is to the downside. We've now rejected that top on the ES. The market does feel like it wants to come back in. You can't fight it. Like, Tesla was super strong. It got right up to resistance, and it just couldn't get there. And I was a little bit too cute about my out. I wanted out in front of this level. I was just trying to get too close to 304. And then by the time it reversed, I wasn't quite fast enough to get out. Didn't lose on the trade, but certainly gave something up in terms of upside. But if you get stubborn with that, well, now you're out of the money. So you have to at least be able to get the heck out of Dodge when you understand that the getting's good.
Yeah, I definitely like that one there. I'm just reading over. Okay, yeah, that's the same. No, it's just that same net flows thing there with a couple ideas there for the close. I just saw a funny comment there. It said, Brendan looks a lot lonelier at that new desk. The desk is bigger. I don't know if he's any lonelier over there. I think
it's actually not bigger, though.
It's a lone.
They're showing
it's not
more.
Bigger?
They're showing more of it. I don't think it's bigger.
Oh, I thought it was bigger. Okay. Anyways, the point is that it is a lonely job up there. You were doing it for a little while there, but okay. With comment on loneliness, Brendan.
It's actually from corner to corner. It's actually the exact same width. The difference is we always used to shoot me very, very tight, so it looked like there was nothing else around. Or this shot as well. We used a lot as well. But now you can see there's still a ton of space around. So nothing's changed in that sense, though.
All right, so
just get like Fahad to sit next to you or something, so you're not lonely up there.
Fahad, where's Batman anyways? I don't even
know
see
where
that guy
Fahad
around
is, man.
anymore.
Maybe
I know he's doing solving crime on the street right now, as Batman should.
You know this, by the way.
Right now.
We're both. I'm still in Brampton. We're both raised in Brampton. There's a Batman. Like, there's a guy in Brampton, where I'm from, like, you can see him every single weekend. He dresses up in a Batman suit and patrols the streets. I'm not making it up, man. You can probably find it online. Like, just Google, like, Brampton Batman, and you'll be like, what? There's an actual guy. I see him around Sunny's. I've driven coming back home from downtown. It's like, oh, yeah, there he is, just walking down the road. People take pictures with him.
There's a crazy Santa Claus dude in Toronto as well. I forget. It's Xanta. It starts with a Z.
Xanta, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that guy in a while. I don't know if COVID... I don't know if he's gone or what, but Santa Claus.
That would suck if that actually was true.
Oh, I don't mean that. I just mean, like, I don't know if he's running around the streets. Like, I don't know if anything happened to him due to COVID, but I hadn't heard from him in a long time.
Probably not.
Santa, that was funny. I don't know. There's probably some YouTube videos on about that one. Okay, so I only have 10% of Amazon left, and that's why I was just making sure that we do have those imbalances coming out. I can show them to you now. There's absolutely nothing because there's nothing happening. I'm actually going to get rid of ARCA right now because we don't need to see the NYSE American, and this is going to just light up like fire at 350. There's going to be tons on here. These are all what's left over, which got published there, Amazon off the open had about 9 million worth to buy, right? 8 plus 47. So the 8.6 got paired off. That did leave some overhang there on the imbalance on the market on open. So that would have got done as well. But the point is, as far as the imbalances are concerned, right now, they're nothing, but at 350 in about 18 minutes, they are going to light up. So that's what we're waiting for right now. And honestly, that Amazon trade just went like $1 into the money when we had 15 cents worth of risk. So I only have 10%. It's not, trust me, if I had 50%, like I said, then I would have just been cleaning it out down there. But I was just waiting to see if there was going to be some extension into the close for that. So that's what we're looking at right now is Amazon on that short side. Yeah, it is lonely over there for Brendan. It's lonely at the top, and that's where Brendan normally is. So we'll keep that down there. Okay, what was relatively strong today to keep in mind for Monday? And we had written this down as a short, and the reason is it took down earlier on the sticky note. This was the 52-week low, 101.88. So right into here was the 52-week low. It took it down. We didn't have it. But then when it retraced back up there early, and this is like right at 9:30, 9:31, we give it a couple minutes, and then we start to short this name. Actually, we shorted it off an initial pop in the pre-market. There's that short that we took once the market was open, and we were able to cash out until eventually it went back up. So all of these are cash. These are all good positions and out. Then we started to sort of mess with the long because we realized it was relatively strong. Google's only down 0.3 right now, right? So only down 0.3. Then we shorted again as we were shorting against there, cashed out, but then that last short didn't work, but the long did back up to the upside. So I just want to say, like, this long right there really cashed out on the upside. That's a long there. That's about 80 cents worth of a victory there, up to 103. But we are respecting that 103 top. So although I did short Amazon, I feel like there was a little bit of a missed opportunity in this short right here, 103 for Google. So look, things are going to change here in the next couple minutes because of those, the quad witching. But honestly, Google for Monday, I feel like it's strong. If we open up above 103, let's try to use that as support, or we definitely have this 102 down here as support as well. So I just want to say that Google today only down 0.3, while the market down 1. So 3 times better, I guess, the beta against the market today is not 1-to-1. It'd be 0.3-to-1. So you got to watch out for that on the math. So we'll have to see if Google does remain strong. But that's a name that I was looking for that. And notice why I'm short. Like, notice Amazon. These are all shorts, right? I mean, we do have a long right there, but these are all shorts. Look at Amazon. It's the opposite. It's 2.5-to-1 today. So that's sort of the difference on why I'm trying to hold this Amazon short and why I didn't really look at that Google. But here we go again, man. Only now 25 minutes until we wrap up this week. What a tumultuous week it was. We came in today down, I think it was 4.97% this week. Add another percent to that. That's like the whole year. The S&P 500, Neil, and you know this stat, has averaged over the last 35 years, 7% or so gain per year. We had that this week up and down. So let's just wait to see what happens. A minus 6% week in the NASDAQ, which was up 5% the week before. So, man, to say we're going gray here, it's not just due to age. This market is stressing me out.
I got the gray. Here. But you know what gives me gray hair? It's this. So I actually, and I'm gonna
YouTube?
call. I gotta call myself out because usually, I'll hit the like myself.
Yeah.
I have not done so, but it is Friday, and you know what happens on Friday? At least some of you have been saying it in the chat, and yes, it will happen again. I do have something. I'll drop a few bars for you guys, or at least one bar, anyways. But there's a magic number. It's not a lot. It's just we get to 1,500, and then fine, I will drop something.
I'm not even
at
happy
4
with
o'clock.
that.
No, I feel
like it's got to get to 2,000.
The thing is, that's what I said at the beginning.
Yeah.
If it's like a trade in fantasy football. If it comes out of my mouth, then I will honor the trade. So if we get to 1,500, I will drop something for you guys.
I just feel like, but now your beats are like Josh Allen. You got to re-up the ask.
Oh, you said Josh Allen instead of. I appreciate you saying Josh Allen instead of Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers would be on his decline. I mean, even though he's back-to-back MVPs, I would say the odds are probably that Josh Allen would be more of an MVP candidate than Aaron Rodgers. So I'm equating, you to the MVP. So I think we did a good job there. And yeah, 15. I mean, if I look right now, I think we're probably at 1,500. We're only at 1.1K. Okay, 4,500 people watching.
We have 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have 20 minutes. All right. We'll give them.
There's enough of you guys watching.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they.
I hope you're not watching this. Avert your eyes for a second if you don't like ugly charts. But someone put in, and they put with an exclamation mark, AMPX. I'm hoping you're short if you're excited about this chart, because that's about as ugly as it gets. And we talked about this before, like these IPOs that come out, low float, soaked up, and then run. The fact that it even gave you 2 moves up, because it gave the gap over the second day, that's fantastic. But when it rejects something like this, like I cannot believe I'm not short this thing. Shorts are probably ridiculously expensive, but look at what it gave you in the open. That's at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. But then at the open, it gives you $16 and says, okay, let's just get cut in half. I don't know what it might actually, I'm sure even though it opened up at about $9, the IPO was probably like $4 or $5. I'll go back and check that, but certainly, this is another one of those stories of if you get one of these longs, pay yourself, because for every HKD that runs for a few days, sometimes it doesn't last very long. That's what we keep trying to get at, that it's not always easy with these. You got the long yesterday at the open or held it overnight. Congratulations to you, but it's not always easy. Looks like we're headed back into the downside on that HRTX. It's now rejecting lower highs. I've tightened my stop to here. I don't want to give it to 50s. We are running out of time. And as a matter of fact, with 10 minutes to go to the imbalances, I might just punch this one out at some point if we start trending lower and not even wait for it. I'm going to waver on whether I should be adding back into NVIDIA here, because I do feel as if at 350, you're going to see like some crazy wicks, and getting in right before it is not the way I usually want to be trading around the close, especially on one of these days. And no, Playmaker, I'm not going to rickroll you guys. Like, that's the kind of thing, like,
I mean, that was your best one.
Like, dude, I wouldn't do, like, it doesn't, you do it once. Like, doing it again, what's the point? It just,
I mean, yeah.
Like, what would be the point of doing that? I would never do that.
No. You could do some Celine Dion or something like that tonight, things like that. We'll wait to see what happens coming up.
We'd have to get like 1 million likes. Celine Dion, come on, man.
Well, My Heart Goes On, or I don't even know any songs. I just know Canadian legend.
That's literally the only one I know.
Yeah,
what else is...
I don't. That was a bad example. Okay, we'll move on from that. All right, so.
And we're Canadian. It's like I should know another song of hers. Really, I should.
I don't know. You should do Justin Bieber "Baby" or something. You could do that song there for Lucas over there. The baby-faced assassin, Lucas. That's a thing. To have his youth again would be very, very nice.
Hell to the no.
Oh no.
I can't sing.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about being young again. That's all.
I'd love to be young.
I don't want you to do there. Okay, here we go. So we are getting excited, man. The guys and traders all behind us getting excited, as now we only have 10 minutes until the imbalances come out. Sorry to yell that. I didn't mean to yell that like that. But that is what it is. 10 minutes until this market tries to get a little nasty. I'm going to try one more time. I mean, rebalance be damned. I mean, if it comes back up to here, we'll try it. I'm still sitting at that 84, 85 level. Like we mentioned that. I did give up a little bit there, even though it was only 10%, looking pretty foolish. But I have no idea where these imbalances are going to go. So right now we have some time to talk about it. The most impressive stock to me today, and I know Neil's talked about that a little bit, is Netflix, up to 141 and change, and still pumping, still making new highs, is Netflix right now. I mean, of course, the market's up, doing pretty good right now. Not up, but the market's been heading up. So as is Netflix right now into that level. So, Brendan coming with the good right now. 2.2 billion to sell off 350. So that's a good number, and that's helping us right now. I don't know if everyone watching just sold that but no, that move happened earlier. But right now, right there to the downside. Okay, thanks, Brad. I see that note. That's good. 123.60 now to the downside, as traders starting to get excited. That was that top 123.60 right there for Amazon. So that's what's good right now. I'm getting excited too. I got the parents coming over. My wife's made some homemade chili. She makes great stuff. She had a hard time finding bread bowls, so I'm interested to see if that comes. saying? You know how
We got a bread bowl shortage in Toronto.
It's not that. I don't know where to get them. You got to like my bakery is Italian. They're not. I mean, they have some nice buns, but
Just
they're
ask
like
them to
they're
do
the
it for you.
Kaisers. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get like a bread bowl. You cut it out, then you put the chili inside the bowl. That's that
the
good
best
stuff
way to
right
do
there.
it.
That's the best way.
how you
And
do
I
it.
said, you know, if you can't find that, just get some nice bread and it'll be all good. But don't eat too much bread. I'm trying to cut down on the carbs. So we'll wait for that as we have salad here. All right, 342.43
Cut
right
down
now.
on the carbs on your birthday.
Oh no, birthday be damned.
Eat
Forget
whatever
about
the
that.
hell you want, man.
Obviously, that's that goes.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
So what
Well, I'm
on
just-
that
I'm just
one?
saying, like,
right now. I'm
enjoy
not.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm not doing much. I mean, we got a couple plans there for the birthday. Got some nice ideas with the kids. We got the family coming over tonight.
I gotta get this out of the way.
SneakerCon.
Make sure you wish Mike a happy birthday.
Yes. I said my brother, same birthday as myself. So
Yes.
I'm actually trying to organize golf with him, but very hard man to get a hold of. So I'll be seeing him tonight, and maybe we'll hit the links at some point as well. The funny thing is, when we were growing up, we had, you know, there's a golf course in Brampton. I don't even know if it still exists, but they used to give you free golf.
You know, it's still there. That was the first place I ever golfed.
No, not Peel Village.
Oh, which one?
I know, that's where I used to live. No, it's up north called Banty's Roost.
Oh, I know Banty's,
I
yeah.
think it's still there. But anyways, they used to do this. No, not a twin, Irish cousin. So he's born a year less than me. A year after me, less than. Like here I'm just talking about the stock is less than that price. No, so yeah, a year after, but same day. So we used to go, they used to have free golf on your birthday. But
cool.
like, so they'd see me roll in, I'd be like, okay, it's my birthday, blah, blah. Oh, and who are you golfing with? Oh, my brother, it's also his birthday. So the two of us would always go out there, and unfortunately, unfortunate for us, unfortunate for them, never paid for a round, but indulged in beverages,
a
which
good
I'm sure they made quite a handsome cut on.
It's a pretty big advantage to be able to take advantage of that on your birthday. Winter babies probably can't do that, unfortunately.
What's up, YD? It's your birthday
get that
tomorrow. You're a 96 baby. Well, happy birthday to you. I have no idea how old you'd be. I don't want to do that math right now. What is it, 2022, 96, 4. You're 26 years old, 28 years old right there. So congratulations, 26, I guess, years old this year. So yeah, you're young. Have lots of fun. I wish a show like this existed, and that's what the SneakerCon guy said when I first started trading, which was around that age, about 22 years old or so. Yeah, now, we're old men, but we're more profitable as traders.
Not that old.
No, we're not that old, but
You're
compared
as
to
young as-
our average
I heard you clear your throat, dude. Not that
Prad.
old, all right?
Come on, man, Pratt.
Let it go, dude.
Yeah. Prad's so young, so fresh, so clean, so handsome. You know, Pradley there. I can't
He
wait.
ain't gonna live to as old as we are if he keeps running his mouth. That's all I'm talking.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired right
You
there.
think just because Arun is on vacation, you can get away with anything you want? Arun's back next week, dude. Slippers are going to be
Yeah,
fun.
where are those slippers? I mean, I don't want to throw the
We should have a
eight-balls.
laundry list of all the smack that you've been talking, Prad, and just fill Arun in on all of it, just so he can get ready to give the ultimate smackdown to you, because he's coming back, baby. And you don't want to mess around with Arun.
He's on vacay. Arun is
vacay.
back on. I don't know if he's back in Canada this weekend.
He's back on Monday, though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's back on the show Monday, but he's temporarily planned to
think
come
so.
back on Monday. So yeah, definitely excitement there. Okay, so here comes Amazon.
here we go.
We didn't get the fill. You guys know we were waiting up here at 84, but now with only 4 minutes left, here we go. The imbalances are coming down. And I remember when I used to, really care a lot about these imbalances before the show. This was a very nervous time. So I know there's a lot of traders behind us, sharpening their pencils, getting their hands ready to execute on those trades. And I want to wish everybody behind us and everybody that's going to trade these imbalances the best of luck, because these imbalance trades are really let God take the wheel, or Jesus take the wheel, whatever the saying is there, because you got to trust what you're seeing, watch those imbalance numbers, and best of luck to everybody that is partaking in today's quad witching rebalance.
And just want to point this out, I am still in. I tightened my stop to 460, but look at 460 now on HRTX. There's about 500,000 shares just sitting on the bid, but that doesn't help. Look, it doesn't help if it doesn't actually go, right? So it has to chew through that if it wants to break my stop, but I'll probably just have to get out somewhere. I don't know. I'll probably have to get out on this bounce here, because imbalances are coming. It's about 350. We have to be flat. If you're tuning in for the first time, then know that we are trading on a prop floor and we are day trading, which means that we have to cover our positions by the end of the day, regardless of what you think the stock might do in the aftermarket or over the weekend. It doesn't make a difference. Going to have to get out. And it might not break my stop, and I might have to get out anyways. That's just how it goes. So 2.5 minutes to go. I did get away from Tesla, but yeah, I can tell you, after getting out of the long, it was just a nice little short trend. I also covered NVIDIA, by the way, because I just want to get out and then be able to sort of focus on whatever I see at 350. But we are still trending back in, both on Tesla and on NVIDIA. I will pull up the chart of Netflix to show you that Netflix ain't coming down. It is still, of course, at the high of the day, or at least close enough to the high of the day. Been an absolute beast, Netflix. There hasn't been too much stronger than Netflix that I've been able to find. And that last of Neo, that got out when it broke 20. It ended up bouncing a little bit, but retesting those lows. As strong as Netflix is today, Neo is just that weak. So the irony being that
what?
It's like I sat out Neo all day long to go long it. Like the chart looks hilarious.
I did not notice that.
But the short I liked on Neo was like up here, like testing these highs. Like it never got close.
No, we did talk about that in the pre-market because we always like to talk about Neo as a $20 name just because of how it moves and the liquidity. Like how many mil is it? 100 million today? And probably not that much.
50.
50 million, but 1.5 or 5.0?
No, just 5.0.
5.0, yeah. So that's what I mean. That's a good liquidity day for Neo. You can take as many shares as you want on that name, which is why it's exciting to trade, and the levels always make a little bit of sense. I only have 10% of this trade. I actually did, just so everybody's understanding here, I did cancel my Amazon offer. I just don't need to be part of it. I mean, Amazon could come out, 20 million shares to buy or something like that, and it won't come that much, but a few million shares to buy like we've seen in the past. So I'm going to cancel all of that, just hold the short. I do have actually, I don't even have my out. I'm going to put that stop in right now. If we break above 124, I'm going to get out, and I'm going to cross like 20 pennies in case it is a marketable event to that upside. And all we're talking about here are these imbalances. How you could trade them is through the market or the individual names themselves. So I'll have the market up right now, and then as they come out, I'll have the symbol there, and you'll see them, and I'll try to click on the ones that are bigger, and you'll be able to see the market on close reaction and all that kind of stuff as they come out. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll just wait to see if there's any sort of actionable trades that come across. Neil and I will both tell you if we do see anything. For me, it's not a big, huge day to trade, but a lot of the traders around here definitely like these kind of opportunities, and they're going to come in about 8 seconds. So you might as well just stay on here. I know Neil's going to look at them as well, but here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's wait to see what happens on the market right now. Wow. Okay, when's the last time we saw anything like this? Mullen is a 9 million share sell. So watch to see what's our quotes right now, pretty choppy. There's a lot of data coming in. It's taking a minute to load. So there's Mullen. Look at them stacking the offer, stacking the bid, big time sell side there. Roblox. Someone said, I believe my man to the left over there said Roblox was supposed to be a buy today. I just saw it there as a sell. I don't know where it is anymore.
Yeah,
I can't. There it is right there. Roblox with a sell imbalance. Wow, that was 6 million shares. So look what Roblox is doing.
Rivian, 5 million to sell.
Yeah, Rivian, 5 million to sell right now as well. Let's see. Look at this action. Wow, that gapped. Rivian, a big gap down. So there's the trade right there. Rivian starts at the imbalance at 39.70, gaps down 80 cents right there. So you want action. What other show is going to show you this? This is why we're the #1 trading show on YouTube. Other people are like, witching imbalances? Not us. There's AMC with a big sell side, but that's going up. So this is the thing, man. You got to pick your poison. I'm sure there's tons of names on here. Uber, that was a name we're looking at today. That's also a 2 million share seller, not doing much. It looked like the big one there, Neil, was Rivian.
Yeah, Rivian was just gigantic. It's all about the relative size, right? Like you got to think about what it is going into the volume, and the volume being 20 million on the session. You start putting a big dent into that. Like that's a huge fade. The question becomes, does it actually stay, or does it get paired off? So watch out at 355. That's a major pairing event on the floor. You're going to see a lot of these rebalances or imbalances get paired off at that time. I checked Mullen, the 8 million to sell on Mullen. That's a bit of a nothing burger. So remember, Mullen's a penny stock. So 8 million shares on Mullen, that's not a huge notional value. That's only $4 million. Look, $4 million is a lot of money, but in terms of moving the stock around, it's not doing a heck of a lot on Mullen. Still going a bit sideways. It's at 50 cents, but if you see that, I see it's a huge one. It's just not going to do anything on MULN, unfortunately, as big as it happens to be.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, it's a marketable event there, but Brennan just came with the news, and unfortunately, it was not as big as thought. It was 1.3 billion net to sell on that number, and I guess that's from, is that from Financial Juice? Yeah, so Financial Juice is back kicking those. We've had, is his name Nick, I think, from Financial Juice, something? Tony. Oh, good. He's,
Easy name to
either
remember,
Nick or
right?
Tony, whatever, Pasquale, whatever, one of those guys there. So thanks to Financial Juice for coming on the show, and that's where we get that data from. And you can find them on Twitter as, oops, I just tried to click Roblox there because it was there, and instead I clicked this random name. Let's just go over to Roblox again. There was a 6 million share sell imbalance on Roblox, so you're seeing that this is just continuing the move down. But again, very, very risky. To me, it's not worth putting on any big size rate yet. You do have an update coming at 55. So right now it's 53.03, 53.04, so on and so forth. See, like right there, although it's moving around, you got to be very, very careful because although it's 5 million shares to sell, it just takes a trader to come in, not a trader, but a firm or somebody to come in and offset that, and then that shoots, there it is right there, 5.2. I keep trying to click it. It just keeps on changing. So it's 5.2 million shares to sell on Roblox.
And but by the way,
just go
Tesla,
short.
I mean, the market kind of going back and forth here, but Tesla, I didn't see Tesla anywhere on there at all, but Tesla's still making a big bounce. It just got to that high of the day, that 303.5, ended up reversing. I'm looking for it. I'm not really seeing it. If it's there, it's not over a million from what I can tell. And if it's not over a million today, then it's not significant, right? Like Tesla's done 55 million shares. Oxy, I did see Occidental on there. Energy's been a big play. That just got back up to its high of the day. Oxy's actually a sell imbalance. Sometimes you will see this, right? Like it's running to the upside on a sell imbalance, and you got to expect that that's likely to pair off in the next minute or so because this is not this is not even turning by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, if this was at the high of the day and it stayed at 3.5 million to sell, that would be a little bit spicy.
All right, right there. You want to know how you trade the imbalances? That's how you trade the imbalances. We just shorted Roblox. Again, if that's going to be a big sell, so there it is right there. Back-to-back jacks, just one, but back-to-back outs. We took only 10 cents, and then we just took 20 cents. So there we are. We are short now. Let's go Roblox. We're short Roblox as it's starting to go to the downside right now against their imbalance. There it is right there, Roblox right there. Now it's only 4.97 million, but we're short right here. It just took down to 15. So this is how I'm trading, man. Trying to make all these trades, even doing imbalance trades for you live on the show right now. I just put a 12 bid out. Let's see if we can get that. Come on, Roblox. Print one more move to the downside right here for us, and we'll be pretty happy with that. There it is right there. Yes, we get the 12s on Roblox. There it is. Now we'll see the switch happens. So I am out of 60% of this trade. It's a big one for me. I'm pretty happy with it.
It's now 6 million to buy.
There it is. Okay, so there it is. So Roblox flipped over. Thank you very much, Neil, for that. And that's enough for me. I'm going to take out one more piece and hold the rest. Roblox flipped over. Are you sure it flipped to a buy?
I saw it.
There it is right there. It says N. What the hell does that mean?
It flipped to a buy originally. Now it says N. I don't know what that
I've never, ever seen N on there before.
No idea what the hell it is.
No idea what that is, but I did get out, so thanks, Neil, for that. It's fine. It doesn't matter what that means, but it did pair off a little bit. I've never seen an N before. I'm going to take that as still a sell because Roblox did not reverse course. So that's going to be the trade for me here off the rebalance. Hey, man, it's a smooth 30 cents right there. There it is. So now it's coming back up. We only have 20% left. If it takes out 50, I'm gone. I'm not going to let this trade turn around. So if it takes out 50, I'm gone. That's 39.50. Put my stop in and see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like, look, that 355, that's what you're looking for. Like, if things stay, then they can be big moves to the other direction. If I had seen Occidental stay at 3.5, it was probably worth a short, but that paired off about half. I now see Roblox back to the sell side, so there's
nothing.
Like, it's bouncing all over the place. Now it's back to N again, so I don't honestly like that. The Roblox one is not going to make a heck of a lot of sense to me. Mullen is still there, but like I said, I don't think Mullen's going to matter. Now it's saying a buy. So
see, this is the crazy part.
It is, as Prad said, it's expected to be a buy. So I want to believe.
Mullen.
No, Roblox. I want to believe it's legit that it's a 6 million buy.
Oh, there. You did have a B and it just went to an N.
B to
okay,
N.
so we got this. Yo, what's up, Tony? Glad to see Tony. Haven't seen. No, that's not what it is,
No,
Lucas, but that's a good guess there. Neutral, Lucas said. N for Neil. How about that? That's a good one there. Yeah, I've never seen it before. Lucas, you could be right. Right now it's flipped over to a buy, so shout out to Neil on that one. It doesn't really make sense because why would it be paired off? There we go. See, so these numbers are wrong. There's something wrong with the Roblox imbalance because the paired volume keeps switching. That doesn't make sense. So watch out for that. I am out of Roblox, only 20% left. Not too much risk. Amazon still dancing around right now as well. Back up to the high side. I'm just going to get out. I'm going to end the Amazon trade. Bang right there. So we're smoking one here. We're not smoking any of those. The market is smoking right now. Nice little move as the market, guys, right back to today's high right now. This is the new high of the market, trying to make that right here into the close. So the rebalance has sort of saved a little bit there. It did not come as negative as possible there. Nope. It could have been a lot worse right there. So far so good. We just hold on to this Roblox, and you can hear the sort of controversy behind us. All the traders lining up their closing trades. And again, I want to say best of luck to everybody. A good friend told me one time, and he's in the building right now, don't pop the champagne before the actual event, right? So I want to say good luck to everybody because we only have 2 minutes to go before this hits the tape.
I'm not, it wasn't me that said it, but I do remember, and they are in the building, and they did say that, and it is fantastic advice, right?
Yeah.
It gives plenty of time to celebrate after the win.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, that being said...
It's like we won the World Series. Wait, we lost?
One of my guilty pleasures is to watch those videos of athletes celebrating too early.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Like, I'm running down the final stretch, and then you get past the last second. I shouldn't like watching that because it's actually painful to see someone blow all their hard work by doing it, but it's a bit of a guilty pleasure.
Oh, man, we didn't have you on this week, did we, Tony, or did we? No, we did not. Oh, man, we missed Tuesdays with Tony this week. Oh, man, next week, that's on us, man. We'll get Tony on next week for a couple minutes and do Tuesdays with Tony. I'll promise you that. Hopefully, well, I will do that. We will do that, not I. We all will get Tony on. With only a minute left, here we go, guys. It should be a good one. I'm excited for everybody. Best of luck for this. Here are the imbalances right now. Roblox, we're out of Roblox.
Now
we
it's
made money.
a sell.
Yeah, I'm just putting it on here to see where it goes. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, that's what Prad's right. I mean, they gain these numbers. These are public if you have access to it. These are paid for imbalance numbers, so it is out there, right? So it's not like you're solving the world here. There's a lot of people that do have this information in front of you. So let's just wait to see where Roblox goes. Unfortunately, I don't see any other huge names on here to look at, but best of luck to everybody as we only have 20 seconds to go. And I hope that like count is more than 1.5K.
That is incredibly disappointing because it is not.
What? No wrapping.
Despite the great close trade, despite the imbalance trading, despite all of that, and the countdown, which I already forgot to do, and Tony on that countdown, about to dance it off. He's going to give me the moves. It's really in 3, 2, and 1.
All right. Oh, the 1. The death toll has rang. He rings it once on the rebalance, and good luck to everybody. I don't hear anything behind us, so we'll wait to see. Hopefully some good prints come in for the boys there. It doesn't look like Roblox.
Yo, Roblox didn't even print.
Yeah, Roblox not printing yet, so we're going to wait to see on that. It doesn't look like there's any action whatsoever. Prad clapping, but I don't think he had a trade on board. He had a good burger, apparently. So that's what he was.
You celebrate that all day, good burger.
Oh, it's because it was a nothing burger. Oh, by the way, I said that, man. Like, I told these guys that, you know, the last few imbalances have not been that remarkable, but Roblox hasn't printed yet.
But Roblox, it ended the day with the N. Like, the imbalance ended on N. And a bunch of them did, too. So guess what? I can tell you this much, regardless of what happens
Was there any big one?
I'm going to get to learn something over the weekend, which is what that means on my imbalance locator. Because
I don't think it means anything, man. Because why is it only? Oh, there's a couple of them
There's
now.
a bunch of them on the NYSE that have.
If it turns out to mean neutral, I have to buy Lucas.
That fundamentally doesn't make sense.
because.
But how? Because if it was neutral, then how could it be 5 million unpaired?
Well,
right? Like
okay,
neutral would mean paired off.
The funny thing is, it hasn't printed yet, so it's 401. And the closing print hasn't happened yet for Roblox.
So it does mean neutral. Someone's saying they looked it up.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know if that's okay. Anyways,
okay.
Let's go over to Brendan here, and we'll wait for that Roblox. We'll try not to leave you until it prints somewhere. The closing price on Roblox was roughly 50 or 60, so we'll see what that 5 million left over does. Is it a buy or is it a sell? Because if it prints a lot lower, then I'm going to indicate that it was a sell, right? So let's wait to see where Roblox prints. But let's go over to that very handsome gentleman at that very handsome desk. What's up, Brendo?
Actually very interested to see where that prints as well. So let's get through this very quickly. Here we go. The final numbers for the day here, very red across the board. 0.7 for the S&P, 0.45 for the Dow. We'll jump down to the NASDAQ here, 0.9 and 0.5. So off the lows, but still ugly. Remember, coming into today, 4.6% on the week for the NASDAQ composite. So add 0.9 to that. And we're still red. Unfortunately, I wish I had better news, guys. Where did Roblox print?
It didn't.
Nepa.
It actually has
no prints yet for Roblox. So I don't know. Let's just quickly look at Apple maybe quickly here to see where Apple might have printed. Because Apple was a sell, wasn't it? My chart's right now not loading. Yeah, okay, so there's the big print. It was a 5.6 million share print for Apple. At the money. So that it just printed right there. No big print for Apple, it doesn't look like. And Roblox, there it is, 50s. So 15, look at that. 15 million shares. Can you guys see that? 15 million shares printed on Roblox with an N, which just means New York when it's on the time and sales. There's the big print. So there it is right there. Look, 15.35 million shares. There's the print for 15.35 million shares. So I don't know.
The paired was
We're gonna have to figure out something. But hey, thank you so much for watching. You can see the boys behind us now talking about their trades. I hope it was a good one, and I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend.
And with that, this one's for you guys. Thank you for the 1,500 likes, but also to my man Sean, of course. And he's gonna know it because this was a cool joint when we were a little bit younger. You sort of dancing to this one in junior high. Don't try to compare us to another bad little fad. I'm the Mac and I'm bad. Give you something that you never had. I'll make you jump, pump, wiggle, and shake your rump. Because I be kicking the flavors that make you want to jump. How high? Real high, because I'm dressed so fly. A young, lovable, huggable type of guy. And everything is to the back with a little slack. Because inside out is wiggity, 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 whack. It keep pumping when something comes to keep me jumping. R&B, rapping, bull crap, that's what I'm dumping. And nothing sick about crisscross, we all that. And if they ask, do we rock, say believe that.
Jump.
I want to do one more thing, because this is my favorite part of the song, and it comes at the end. Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this.
Go.
Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this.
Go.
Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this.
Go.
Some of them try to rhyme, but they can.
can.
Because I'm the miggity Mac daddy. Because I'm the miggity Mac. I'm the miggity Mac daddy. Because I'm the miggity Mac, and I make you wanna jump.
Chris
That's the
Cross
best
will
part of
make
the
ya.
song right there.
Neil Roberts will make ya. There it is. So Neil, the only problem with that is now, because you talked about grade school and all that kind of stuff, we got to wear our, what were those that you had with the one? Overalls. Overalls.
But I also used to wear I had the Colorado Rockies pinstripe to the back in grade 8.
The purple.
And there were no pictures. There were no pictures of that one either.
All right, thank you so much, man. It's 4:05. What a great way to end the show. Thank you for watching us today. Thanks, Neil, for that. Thanks for the birthday wishes to everybody. Look, it was a great show today. I want to thank everybody from SneakerCon for coming through. I want to thank Michael Noss from coming through from Trade Ideas. I want to thank again everybody that worked on that desk, man. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Randy. I think that's probably the only two people that really worked on the desk, but definitely a shout out to those guys there. And it was big. And thank you to all of our viewers out there that sort of put up with all that background noise. Probably more to come. We have more things
There's still
built.
some things happening around.
Yeah, as well. Shout out to, again, everybody. Liz, Maggie, Katrine. We do this every single day. Shout out to Bears versus Bulls. I don't do that enough. Thank you, my man, for everything that you've done in moderation for us as well.
I know you want to end it, Sean. However, I'm going to end it this time by finishing off by saying, I'm Neil, that's Brendan, this is Sean, and happy birthday,
oh, thank you.
Sean
Happy
Katina,
birthday,
happy birthday
Sean.
to Mike,
Happy birthday.
your brother as well. Have a fun one, enjoy SneakerCon, enjoy it with the family, eat everything that you want, brother. We're tradertv.live. See you next week.